Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everybody this Woo Woo Wednesday? I let you guys decide on a poll. I want to say it was Monday. I posted a poll here on my community tab on this channel, deciding which time you wanted this live stream because Boston has a game until 6 p.m. and it's quite a distance across town. And sometimes that time of night, it could take you like 40 minutes to get across town. So I'm like, I probably won't be home till about 6:40 tonight. So what do you want? And you guys voted. I think it was like 75 or 78% voted to have today's live stream 11 a.m. rather than the regularly scheduled, well, slightly later than regularly scheduled 6:40 p.m. So we are doing this now, right now. And we're going to be doing a free collective reading. Last time we did kind of a collective December 2024 vibe. So this time we're just going to focus on just whatever it is we need to know. Yeah, and I was just going to talk a little bit about the nature of reality, because like, what is even reality? And this is something that I kind of almost just feel like let's just get into it. Something that we've been kind of bumping up against with all this talk of an organic creation of this planet and then this false grid matrix put over the top of it. And something that I've been realizing is the 3D reality, what you see around you, actually is a lie, because it is a manifestation of the past. So it's really, yes, I guess we can keep the delusion going that, okay, this is my life, this is still my life, this is still my life, that thing happened to me, it's still happening to me, it's still happening to me. It's like, it's tiring. That's so tiring. But we've all been duped or brainwashed or programmed to believe we have to, of course, live this linear life, which yes, it feels that way. But technically, yes, linear time, so to speak. But the original creation of this realm, if you will, was not linear time. It was more cyclical, cycles, which we still can love and enjoy in even the 3D matrix. There still are cycles. But the thing that they've done is they've slapped this linear time over the natural cycles, the natural order of things, to where we were once, just as people, as animals, as a planet, just very present in the now moment, because that is all we have. The now moment is the only time anything is actually taking place, is right now. So your past can be happening right now, your future's happening right now, that past life is happening right now, future life happening right now, parallel life, you guessed it, right now. So I got my gears going about it, really tuning in to my heart space and just this deep sense of knowing rather than like brain, because my brain can almost start smoking after a while, just getting to this almost existential thought process about the nature of reality. Where was I going with this? But I tuned in. Yes. I tuned into this deep inner knowing that, oh, Marlene's here. Hi. And Amber. The spiritual effects of the physical, not the other way around. It happens first in the spiritual, and the physical is late news. Absolutely. And that's one thing. Like, I use Nikola Tesla as a pretty prime example because he has a really prolific line of inventions and ideas that, of course, started as pure consciousness. This idea, maybe it was downloaded to him, or he just remembered it from a past life that was happening right now, right? So he downloaded this idea, and then he wrote it onto paper, and then maybe he made a, excuse me, throat's still doing its thing. Maybe he made a prototype, then maybe a second version, third version, maybe he got it right the third time, whatever. And then now it exists. Well, by the time it exists, it's already old news. It already has happened. It's already, like, it's one thing. It's like, before you can even finish asking your question or saying the sentence, it already exists. It's already happening. It's already happened. So the now moment. And we've all been lied to or duped into this thought process that, okay, well, when I was 6 years old, this happened to me. When I was 12, this happened to me. When I was 22, this happened to me. And just we keep these almost like we used to call it that backpack full of bricks. We're just trucking around with, laying us down, feeling very heavy. We can't be in the flow because we're so heavy. We're dropping to the bottom of the river with this backpack full of bricks. And it really is, because everything's happening now. I had this just heart-centered epiphany that, well, that version of me, that thing happened at 6. If that's happening right now, then no, I'm not signing up for that. And I know that sounds out there, and I know that sounds very delusional, but things have been shifting and happening for me in ways that I have been trying, up against a wall, hitting this resistance in my healing journey. It's like, you're on a journey. Is it ever going to end? And that's something we've talked about and discussed here many times, in the near future, recent past, about how just, when does it end? Because we're just going to be healing and healing and healing, and that could be healed, that could be healed, that could be healed. And I've just decided that no, why? I'm just spinning my wheels here. And that's a big trick of the Matrix, is us forgetting who we are. Well, when you remember who you are, who each of us is, and who even the people that, people call NPCs, AI bots, soulless beings, whatever we want to call people, in those regards, it's not that they are actually empty vessels, because nothing can have life to it without that spark of creation. Not a plant, not an animal. Yes, these things can be hybridized, as we've seen with GMOs and what have you, mixed breeds, races, all of it. Like, it can be shifted and changed and combined and separated, right? But it's that spark of God, the original source creator, that brings life. It's the blood running through your veins. It's the energy that animates the body. And when that energy leaves the body, then passes away and goes back to the earth. So even these quote unquote NPCs or whatever, no, that spark, that fractal of God, the original source creator, whatever we want to call it, is also within them. They just forgot. Many of us forgot. Many of us are still shedding layers of density to remember even deeper truths every single day. And I'm right there with you guys. Like, I don't think anyone's figured it all out completely, but I had this big epiphany about the Matrix. And I've heard people throw around the term like mind matrix, and the Matrix is a construct, and a lot of the thoughts that we have that just pop in aren't even ours, and a lot of us are, that whole collective consciousness thing, or hive mind, and they're looking, and by they I mean the powers that were, as I like to call them, are looking to create an even further remove from nature hive mind with like Meta and Starlink or Neuralink, or whatever these things are. There's probably others that we don't even know about yet, that they're like trying to like upload our consciousness into a further removed version of the Matrix from what we're used to even here. But the first step of breaking out of the Matrix is realizing, you're in a Matrix. It's not the first rule of Fight Club where you don't talk about Fight Club. No, it's the opposite. It's you just having that awareness, which is your God spark. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your body. Yes, you are encased in your spirit or your spark is surrounding this body. It's animating this body. But that's like saying you are only your car. Well, we can easily be like, no, that's my car, but I'm me, whoever me is, right? But it's almost the same thing. Like, yes, while you're in this body or surrounding this body with your spirit, of course, it feels very much like you, because you can feel through it, you can sense through it, taste, touch, smell, hear, it have emotions. So it feels like it's us. But we're actually the awareness behind all of that is experiencing all the things. So we can judge things, we can reject things, we can accept things, whatever. Like, we, as that awareness of God, we can, for lack of a better word, manipulate the surroundings and the energies to actually create what we want. And I kept getting, like the last probably 4 or 5 days, as I'm falling asleep and as I'm waking up, which you guys know, I wake up a lot during the night, especially between like, I don't know, 2 to 4 a.m. I'm up at least twice, usually a night between that. And sometimes I'm settled pretty quickly. Other times my brain starts going. And it's not me choosing that. That's like that collective consciousness coming on. I'm the one aware of the fact that the collective consciousness is trying to come online in my physical brain while I'm trying to do other things as the awareness of God or the original spark. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I keep hearing reality is not what you think. Reality is not what you think. Like over and over. Like it just like is playing on a weird loop. Not so much in my mind. Yes, I think I'm interpreting it with my mind, but it's almost like it's coming from the heart center. It's a really weird thing. Hi Kashvi. Hello, hello. So what it feels like is you can take that reality is not what you think two different ways. Reality is not what you think, meaning your thoughts are not your reality, which most people would be like, well, I beg to differ because when I think this, then this happens. And then when I think this happens. So we can subscribe or sign up to actually completely identify with our thoughts. That's our prerogative as God, as the ultimate awareness, having this human experience. We can totally sign up for that. So reality is not what you think, meaning it's not your thoughts, or it's not what you think, meaning it's not what you've always believed it to be. That's another way you could kind of interpret that. And I've just been it's 11:11 on my clock as I'm saying this, and I have chills. This really is, it does feel like the reason, okay, and then this was a whole other thing. It's like, well, then why? Because I've been grappling and struggling with this myself since the rude awakening from the awakening in late 2022. Because there's that initial spiritual awakening you have where you can't go back to sleep, obviously. But then there's that further rude awakening from the awakening, getting caught in some of these new age belief systems or traps, which they all feel very lovey-dovey, very ooey gooey and beautiful and rainbows and unicorns. But a lot of it led me down a really dark path when I was listening to this entity called Archangel Michael, spending tens of thousands of dollars with this healer who was literally had a demon attached, just siphoning my life force energy and my money. So, I mean, listening to things outside of me that were not my I am, God spark, original source creator, true spirit, higher self, inner self, whatever you want to call that part of you that is infinite. When we give that power to some other I am presence or God spark to take the reins, if they're not fully in aligned with their true presence, things can get ugly fast, But what I've discovered is, and grappled, that's where I was going with this. What I grappled with, I should have made notes. I was thinking about it and then I didn't do it. But what I grappled with was, okay, so if our birth charts can basically play out like a play-by-play of our lives, do we even have free will? Like I was in this, like, we're trapped here. This is a matrix. And, that's all valid because for that time, absolutely that was true. That was my reality for the time. I have since now amended those thoughts and I will share them with you now if you would like to hear. I will read your comments, I swear. I know me and I'm going to get off track if I even look over there right now. But what I've realized is the blueprint of your birth chart, your human design, your Myers-Briggs personality, your Enneagram, I think that's what it's called, numerology, different forms of astrology, which I've already said astrology, but your birth chart. All these things are basically acting as programs to the unique algorithm that you kind of came, like your barcode was scanned as you came, left the birth canal. Your barcode was scanned, and that's the program you're running with. This is your name, this is your birthday, this is your birth chart, your human design, your astrology, numerology, all the other ways that we can really tune into our personality and who we are on a almost soul level. Like we can really get to the nitty gritty and use these things almost as predicting tools, or just really get to know who it is that we're here to be, a la the matrix programming. But something that just became a huge epiphany to me, even just since I discovered more the Hellenistic astrology, where my ascendant shifted less than a degree. It was like even like less than a quarter of a degree, or less than a quarter of a degree, put me from a Libra ascendant or Libra rising to a Virgo ascendant or Virgo rising. And even just that shift I then started to shift my awareness more toward the Virgo, and yes, this lines up, this lines up, this lines up, this lines up. How are both of these lining up? It's because my awareness has now shifted here, and I'm like, no, this also acts as a script or a blueprint that I've been running this whole time without even knowing it. Well, how is that even possible? Because the barcode was scanned when we came through, so we have these very specific programs running. It was most likely put in there that I would then discover I was, maybe Libra ascendant in this form of astrology, but I'm now Virgo ascendant in this form of astrology. So both are going to play out and act completely perfectly in my life when I look at both of them. But here's where you break out of the matrix. Are you ready? This is the mic drop moment. I don't want to ruin it. I want to get it right. When you realize that you can just shift out of all of it. And I know that goes against, your personality type, your human design, your astrology. But I can give you a prime example of someone in my personal life who, every time I look into his birth chart, I just left scratching my head, because there are maybe 30% of what I read or see or transits going on with his birth chart. And he's not even like the most spiritually awakened person I've ever met. Let's put that out there. But only about 30% of his birth chart is what it says he should be, and who he should be, and what he should be doing, or where I should have met him, and all the things. It's my husband. He's an Aquarius ascendant, so they already are. They go their own way. That's for sure. So he's already, like, in a way, he's just doing it different than me. He's doing it different than me, and all paths lead us back to our I am presence. We're all on our own journey. So it's not like I'm doing it right, he's doing it wrong, or vice versa. No, we're each doing it perfectly aligned to who it is that we are and want to experience as that God, I am presence, I am awareness, as the original source creator, living this human experience. So for us to break out of the matrix, so to speak, is two things: not identify with the thoughts, but to be the observer of the thoughts, which I think is a pretty common saying. I think it's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, however you pronounce his last name. I mean, he wrote all about that in the book, that you are not the thoughts, you're not the feelings, you're the observer of said thoughts and feelings. And that's as a concept, like, I understood that for years. I thought I understood that, but then it's just probably in the last 2 months, there's just been this even deeper, more profound awareness, for lack of a better word, that's like, no, that's correct. I am not this body, because when this body passes away, my awareness is going to keep on going. Like, I know that. Like, I know that. Like, it's just so, it's a deep knowing that I've had since I was very young, that we don't, the body might die, but we don't die. Who we are, like, who we think we are inside, that doesn't go away. And that's one thing. And then another way to break out of the matrix is literally because you are God. And this is where, like I always say here, this is where the cult leaders get it wrong. They think they're the only God. They've figured out, I'm God. Oh my God, I am God. And then they go around telling everyone they are God. But what they forget to realize is that so is that plant out there. So is your dog. So is that tree. So is your coworker that you really don't like very much. So is, your best friend. Everybody's God. Everything is God. There are also programs mimicking or trying to pretend to be God that are not God. AI for one, and stuff. And people are even saying that AI is getting consciousness and also God. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I haven't even tuned in far enough to know how I feel about that, whatever. And I don't even think it matters at this point. But, just for us to come online as far as our own God presence, and then to start creating a reality. Again, the 3D reality is not real, even though it feels very real. It's just a very controlled, lucid dream that we are creating. What the true reality is, get ready for the mic drop moment. I think I've touched on this a little bit on the last live stream. But the true reality is your imagination. Playing pretend, because that's where all potentials lie. And as kids, as adults, as everything in between, we have tapped into that imagination. We've daydreamed about winning the lottery, or going on a trip over here, or meeting our favorite celebrity, or whatever it is. We've imagined and envisioned these things happening. But because we are not remaining in our God state awareness with that, we never do actually go out to manifest that. Because, that'll never happen. We've programmed ourselves. And it's not even that we have to, or been programmed, probably a better way to put that. But it's not even that we have to go and change all those limiting beliefs. Yes, working on them and getting rid of them is valid. It's all valid. But if you can just shift directly into your I am awareness, meaning I am God, you are God, I am source, you are source, we're all source, and all the potentials that could possibly exist are out there and available. And of course, if you're like, I don't know about this, just play with the things you know you have control over, or wouldn't be too far out of the realm of imagination or possibility or potential for something cool to happen, like to find a dollar bill on the ground or a penny, even if you want to get real minuscule with it. It's not maybe common to find a penny, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. So you can start playing with this in really small ways until you really get a handle on, okay, actually I am creating my reality. Maybe it's not exact. Maybe it's not, again, time is this, because time itself is an illusion. We can't just say, well, it has to happen by Tuesday at 4 p.m. before, I turn over my calendar page, or, whatever. Because time is an illusion, and we are operating out of time when we are in reality, aka our imagination, right? But that's why it's been such a thing on this planet to talk people out of their imagination. You got to get realistic. Stop pretending and being in la la land. Quit daydreaming. Of course, because they want your creative life force energy going to all of this other stuff that's not even real, It's like, oh my gosh, I've just been having so many epiphanies and downloads. And if you guys want to even like go a step further, it's weird because it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I'm having all these epiphanies, and I think I have the book in the other room. I showed it to you guys on, I think it was Friday's live stream, or maybe it was the Wednesday before, I think. It was Gnostic mysticism. Let me just go get it. I'm already forgetting the name, but it's just across the hall. So I'm going to grab that, and I will be right back. Okay. So just, random goodwill trip with a friend of mine, and I always look through the books. And then I found this. Well, I didn't see this book any other time I've been there. I probably would have picked it up and at least glanced at it, because the word mysticism would have got me regardless. And then I read to you guys on, I think it was page 110 and 111, which was the first pages of this book I opened. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll pick a book off a shelf and just open it and start reading kind of randomly and just see what sticks out for me. But yeah, and this is what I'd been kind of discovering and rediscovering, because it's like every time I discover this, I get a deeper layer of it and a deeper understanding, it seems like. Deeper knowing. But it says, God is absolute authority. The only way I could create the illusion of being something other than God was to abrogate my authority as God, or to hand that power of your authority as your own God, source creator here in this human meat suit. You can give that power to the government, to a teacher, to a healer, to whoever. And we've all abrogated our authority as God many times in our lives. We've all been there, we've all done that. But then, be still and know that I am God. Yes, I'm God, you're God, we're all God. And then I had some pretty, this is it was a self-published book in around 2011. I don't even know if you can get this on Amazon or where, because again, I got it for $1.99 at Goodwill in pretty darn good condition. Like, it wasn't doing any of this when I got it, but I went to the water park on Sunday for a birthday party for my youngest son, but both the kids went. So I needed something to occupy myself. I didn't want to, because I've been on my phone pretty much all day, every day for work last week, and I just needed a break from my screen. So I brought my book, and of course the humidity factor in there, and reading it like this, that'll do it. But hey, I don't mind that. Because I was just having so many mic drop moments in this book that I brought a notebook. Thankfully, I had a notebook and a pen in my bag. I just almost carry them around at all times at this point, because I never know. I could have picked up my phone because I did have it with me. I could have notes app in my phone, but I'm even trying to, get away from doing that all the time and just writing it out in a notepad or a journal or something. But let's see.
there's just so many, and I'm only on page 39 of, it's a pretty short read, quick read, looks like. 177 pages. Page 39. But I already have probably like 4 or 5 pages of notes. I was just like, yes, 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 yes. Can't forget this. Can't forget that. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And then also YouTube started showing me things on the same context. And, you know, and I'd heard of the law of assumption before. I've heard of reality transurfing before. But there was just something that I guess maybe I just wasn't quite fully ready to just see what it was all about. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I found this YouTube channel, and it's spelled like this, The Rosy Life. And if you can even just start, I would say you could even just start with her most recent upload as of today. I can't remember what that video is called, but it should be the most recent one. And I watched it twice, and I know I'm going to watch it a third time and actually take notes because I'm just like, mind blown, mind blown, mind blown. Yes, yes, yes. And she does quote the Bible on there a lot, but not from a religious standpoint, but just as a tool, because everything that exists, whether it's a matrix construct or original God source creator creation, there's learning available for us as God to learn something from it or to gather something from it or to rebuke it or whatever our prerogative is. Let me go to The Rosy Life and see what that video is labeled. If you're just wanting to search The Rosy Life and that title, you can go right to it. Let me get it. Because I would feel like I was robbing you guys if I did not share her channel. And I have not watched one of her videos that I'm like, doesn't resonate. Like, at least parts of each of these. And she shares a lot of her, I think she's like she helps people, like she does coaching calls and stuff. But she shares a lot of their stories. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, so it's this top one here. How to stop reacting and actually get what you want. The Rosy Life is her channel. And it's, 39-minute, 13-second video, but it's a longer video, but it's worth watching. On 1x speed. I even slowed it down. I did not even watch that on 2x speed. You know me and my brain. I just want to go, go, go. Let's get this information going. I even shared it with Jessa, Solar Siren, today. I'm like, oh my gosh. Girl. Mind blown. Tanya's here. I miss you, Tanya. Tanya's my cousin, everybody, if you haven't heard that yet. And Solar Siren, one of my best buds. I've known her since she was 8 and I was 12. Good to have you ladies here. I'm so excited to see you. So now I'm going to go back and catch up on comments. That was my little spiel. I don't know. I didn't really take notes. It wasn't very neatly structured, but there you go. Just some epiphanies, some mic drops for your Wednesday. Maybe I just need to bring a live stream over here calling it Mic Drop Monday or something. All right. So I'm going to scroll back up. Yeah, the spiritual affects the physical, not the other way around. Yes, and it happens in the spiritual and the physical is late news, and that is so true. But we've been programmed to believe, no, I just checked my bank account statement and it said that I only have this much in there. But hey, maybe if you can think about, well, I know I have a paycheck coming, it just hasn't hit the deposit yet. I know it's coming. So yeah, the reality is actually happening now. It's just the 3D takes its sweet illusion of time to show up in our quote unquote reality. Yeah, there are ways we can unbrainwash or reprogram ourselves to know that the 3D is just a reflection of the past. And you may have to say it to yourself over and over until you do start to believe it. Not that you have to believe it for it to be a fact as well. But yeah, I saw a spiral as time. That's why we do jumping or healing, etc. Yeah, I know a never-ending journey. I feel we are 99.99% there. And so many of us, it's like each time that I make this next like level up, I'm like, okay, wow. Okay, I can't even imagine knowing more than what I not knowing, like in a book smart, oh, I read this and now I know everything. But like this deep inner knowing to my God spark awareness that yes, this resonates. This is true, whatever that may be.
And each time I do that, I'm like, wow, okay, I cracked the case. I figured not. I mean, on that grand scheme, I know me thinking I know anything. I know nothing as far as this whole everything goes. Like the nature of reality, the nature of creation. I don't think our human brains and the awareness that's kind of, for lack of a better word, trapped here in this matrix system could even begin to fathom what actually reality is. But our little human brains can almost grasp it, and then it slips away. That's what it feels like to me anyway. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, we can observe our thoughts, which kind of points to we are not our thoughts, we are the awareness. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And that's what do now. I observe why I'm reacting the way I do, the triggers, the emotions. And that's a thing that is talked about in the law of assumption. You don't even have to sit there and like research or crack the code on, okay, I think I act this way because when I was 14, this one girl said this one thing to me, and now I think that's what, like, you don't even have to go down that road at all. You can just say, I don't know that I like what's going on here, so I'm just going to shift to a reality or a timeline where this isn't going on. And I know that sounds so very spiritually bypassy. I know that. But if you are God, dressed up as Amanda or Amber or Tanya or Marlene or Solar Siren or whoever you're dressed up as and identify as God in your human aspect, we can make anything happen or not happen. But we have just been programmed like, okay, this is reality. This is what actually is going on. But it's our aspect of thinking we need to heal to become, a whole and perfect version of ourselves, because as a non-healed, somebody who has limiting beliefs, somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of money, whatever it is, we think, well, I need to get the money, let go of the limiting beliefs, do all the healing, and then I can be ... whatever that is. But no, if you're already God, just pull off the mask or the illusion that, okay, when I was 6 and I had that big trauma, I'm gonna just say, okay, I'm God. I don't need to carry that around in my backpack full of bricks anymore. And I'm going to shift to where, if every moment is now, you can shift to a reality where that didn't even happen. And I know that sounds delusional. But when you can really get into, if you're looking for any kind of homework, because I like to give out homework, and that's just me. If you don't like doing homework, that's the thing with this. You don't even have to do homework. You just literally declare that I am God and this is what I want, and it's done. You just, 3D being the way it is, you may start to doubt yourself and think, no, it's not done because I don't have that dream job. Where's my man? Whatever. It's easier said than done because we're programmed to believe that we have to do something or fix something or create something out of thin air for it to happen. And it's not like, yes, as God, we probably could create something out of thin air, but it's not even like you have to create it if it's already done. Because if God, the original source creator, has already created infinite potentials, infinite timelines, infinite options, infinite scenarios, it already exists. It already exists somewhere out there, wherever out there is, right? So what you need to do on your end as God is just, okay, I'm just going to select that. It's almost like choosing what you're going to wear that day. This is the reality I'm going to jump into right here. Okay, sounds good. So reality transurfing and the law of assumption. Those are two things you can look into. And if you don't even want to go that far, just looking at the Rosie life and what she's got to offer on her channel, game changing. Even if it just kind of gets your gears going about, okay, like this makes sense on paper, but like, and that's the thing is we've been told like, it's, you got to do this to manifest, you got to script and you got to visualize and you got to journal and you got to meditate and do all these things. And yes, maybe you can still manifest doing those things, but they're not a requirement. If you're someone like me, I always like, well, I need to do something. So I'm trying to like get out of that mode of, well, if I don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. No, you don't have to work so hard and run in circles to make things happen the way that I have been trying to manifest things. Because here's the hot tip mic drop moment is we're constantly and always, only always manifesting.
You can't not be manifesting. It's just for most of us that are living in our matrix programming, we're taught from a very early age, just watching the news, to focus on the negative, focus on the negative. So we're focused on the negative, where we pay attention, where we spend our time. That's where we're going to get more of that reality, because you're basically telling the universe, God, whatever, I want more of this. I want more of this, because I'm putting my God spark awareness, my all-encompassing, amazing, divine God spark awareness on this thing right here. And that's telling your God spark awareness that I want more of this. I want more of this. I want more of this. So when we're worrying, when we're stressed, when we're playing that conversation we had with that coworker over and over in our heads and like, damn her, how could she say that? Whatever. We're just bringing our awareness to that thing so much that we're then bringing more of it up, more of it in, more of it on. And that's where I think so many of us that are on that healing journey almost feel like we're in the biggest dark night of the soul hole rut that we've ever been in. And here I've done all this work and I feel worse than ever. Like, raise your hand if you've been there, because yeah, many times. But as God, if you are on that healing journey and you've done healing with this healer or healed yourself or done this, done that, you're still making progress, because you as God are putting the effort in, doing the work. You just feel this is the way you need to do it. So it's not a lost cause. It's not for no reason. You're still benefiting from it. But then when you shift your awareness and say, you know, I'm done with this. I am just going to pick out the wardrobe of opportunity that I'm just living my dream life, whatever that looks like. It's going to look different for everyone. But let me do some more comments here. And so far we do have one donation from Linda, which we're going to get into it after we catch up on donations and do our little chit chat for a little longer. That's what I do. Yeah, I read that one. I'm observing this in my life. Whatever I'm thinking about happens, good and bad, both. In fact, most of the things that I'm thinking when I am present in the moment now. Yes. Oh, in the now. I just added the word moment there. Oh my God, I was just talking about imagination with a friend this morning. Yes. Yeah, how are we brainwashed out of imagination and be more realistic, and things are not possible, whereas the kids are not like that. Yeah, until, again, they are sent through, I won't say it's the school itself, but just this systematic approach of breaking someone down and putting them in a box a lot of the time to get them ready to go to college and live the corporate life. Not that everybody does that, but that's kind of the system they set up in the early 1900s. To get people, you know, into a system, the government school system, to then at 18, when you graduate, you can go work in this factory, that factory, and you stay at that factory your 40 plus year work career. And then when you retire, retirement's actually a pretty new concept. It's only been around, I think, since I want to say 40s or 50s, and then like specific retire as far as it might even be earlier than that. I can't remember. I read this book called The Psychology of Money, where they talked about like the history of like Social Security, and it was kind of a dry read, but kind of interesting at the same time. Good thing it was on an audiobook, or I probably would have just not finished it. But yeah, and it wasn't until I think the 401k was put about in like 1978. So that's pretty recent, you know, just right before I was born. And then I think the Roth IRA came out around 98. So these things are not old. So, and that's the thing, is before all of this happened, we as a society, it seems like it's not like the people who were elderly and in retirement were just put out on the streets. No, people took care of their own, or they found a way to, you know, save or something. I don't even know. Because I'm just thinking, like, my great grandma lived across the street from my grandma. It's also Tanya's grandma and great grandma I'm talking about. I don't know how Grandma Hutton did it, but obviously she made it until she went into the nursing home, and then she made it for a while in there before she passed away. But I don't really know how they did it back in the day. I've never stopped to ask anyone. Now that I've thought about that, maybe I'll have to ask somebody. Yeah, very interesting. Maybe one of you guys know how one of your grandparents, great-grandparents did it without some sort of retirement. Because I don't think people were saving large sums of money back then, even just on their own.
even if they were rolling it up and, hiding it in their mattress or something, they probably didn't have enough to live on or sustain for the rest of their lives. I don't know. I've never really thought about that now that it's coming to my awareness. I don't even know what that has to do with anything, but I got off on a tangent. You know me, you guys. That's what we do here. We should just call this Harmony Portal Tangent, not tarot. I completely agree. Everything is a reflection of our own mind. We are creating whether we are aware of it or not. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, The Rosy Life. Go check it out. Especially her most recent video. If you want to just jump in and start learning things right away, that's a good one. But you can go to her different playlists and just see what flips your fancy or catches your eye, I was wondering why I'm disinterested in reading books. Yeah, some people are, some people aren't. I go through phases where I can't get enough, and I read, 150 some books, I think, last year. I know I'm over 100 this year, but a lot of them were audiobooks, to be honest, because I don't have time to just sit down and read, but I can listen to something and read as I do the dishes or fold the laundry or, between calls at my other job, which I haven't really listened to much audiobooks, but I do, I guess, have. But this week I've been so busy that I haven't had time to do anything but sit and be ready for the next call or chat. Yeah, it's been good, which is, I prefer that, because then I'm just busy and I'm not sitting there like, okay, I'm wasting my time just sitting here. Yeah. Tanya loves and misses me. I feel so special. Yes. I know we limit ourselves. Once I do this or get that, then I will be good, healed, etc. Yeah, I've been down that road so many times. Yeah. I started saying 2 switch words to stop obsessing negative thinking: purge and cancel. Ooh, I like that. Brianna! We just went down a rabbit hole on what is reality and what really is the matrix. I think I uncovered yet another layer. It felt really good. I felt really good about myself right there. As that God spark awareness. Yes. I know communities used to be a lot tighter. Right. They did. Yeah, back in the day. Hi, Brandy Lynn, by the way. And hi, Critty. Welcome. Yes. Hello. The trade-off was they were more weary and untrusting of anyone outside of their culture. Yeah. I mean, that you can still see that a bit here and there around the world, but for the most part, we have just really, it's like been open source for so many different mixing and mingling of different tribes and cultures and people, which is beautiful and it's cool. But we've completely, by doing, not because of that, but just as a result of the way the world's been going, we don't have those close-knit communities that we know they have our back anymore. And, children are not being raised by the village anymore. It's just up to the parents. And sometimes the extended family can help, but yeah, it's like a rat race out here. Yeah. Yeah, you're just out here jumping timelines. Oh, we've been talking all about it. Literally all about it. For 43 minutes. We've been doing that. Yes. I still am going to do a collective reading, which I am going to jump into right about now. Yeah. So true, so true. Yeah, now people are here to outsmart each other, right? It's like, it's such a competition, which I think, a little bit of healthy competition is good, but the way people are competing, like in relationships or online, or like, it's kind of almost like, wow, this is where we've made it to as a human species. This is thumbs up, bro. Like, so not interested in all of that at all. But I guess we have made it farther than, what they tell us in our history books about caveman days. And I kind of want that lady over there. So I'm just going to go club her husband over the head and drag her by the hair back to my cave. I mean, I guess we've evolved. We have evolved, but have we in other ways? Have we? Have we really? Some more than others. We'll put it that way. Yeah. It impacts parenting. Yeah, it does. And there's this lady, oh gosh, I think she's called Life Take Two. She was a Mormon, like, trad wife influencer back in the day before influencing was really even a thing. And her husband was cheating and she got divorced and was left penniless, even though her husband earned like 6+ figures a year. Like, he made it so that he wouldn't have to pay anything for her and their 5 kids. And oh my gosh, her whole channel is a whole journey into how the other half live, at least for me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. But yeah, she talks about, there's a video she did about how she's calling them absentee grandparents that are too busy, you know, getting their fillers and playing pickleball all day to even want to have a relationship with their grandkids. Thankfully, I can't relate to that because my kids have great, at least my mom, who's my main parent, let's put it that way, and then my in-laws, both the grandma and grandpa on that side, my kids are closer than they could be to either of those. But as far as my dad goes, my dad's never even met Wrigley, so that's on him, you know. So yeah, it's interesting how that is. But yeah, I mean, my kids could probably only pick my dad off the street because he looks just like their Uncle Tim. He's also named Tim, but 32 years older than my brother. Yeah. All right, that's enough about all that. Let's get into our collective reading, just what we need to know. And if you want to know what's going on for December, I did our little collective December reading. I did it in the style of pick a card. I didn't show you guys the spread, but I did kind of that horseshoe spread that I used to do over on the Done Creative and then Harmony Portal Tarot when I would do the monthly readings. But we just basically did one pile, so to speak, for December. And it felt really like there's some evolution, there's some up-leveling going on in this month, both with the astrology. So you will see it in your 3D mundane reality because that's what the astrology is. The 3D mundane reality runs on what the astrology is saying. So for the most part, you can pretty much guarantee what's going to be going on in the mundane 3D reality. Doesn't mean it has to be in your reality because you are God and you can choose any reality you want. It doesn't have to be this matrix program. So have fun with that. All right. So true. I have tried that too for Kashfi to have a good relationship with her grandparents. Yeah. And, especially if you live at a distance, that can be really difficult. Even with technology, there's all this FaceTime and stuff people can do. But people get busy and, you have your routines and your systems and things can be, it's not always easy. All right, here we go. Our little collective. For me, the timing of this feels for about the next 2 weeks or so. And so far, just a reminder, we have one donation from Linda. So if anyone else is looking to get a question answered today, feel free to donate. We'll be around here at least until Linda's question is through. All right, here we go. Here we go. About 2 weeks. What do we need to know? Our little collective. Ooh, we have the Lovers. And I love this deck. This is called Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic. I think that's what it's called. It's based on that song, I think. But it's a really beautiful little pocket deck. I love it. It's so fun. But yeah, the Lovers. There's a decision. There's a choice. This doesn't feel like love life, but more like your love of life. You're making a choice. Do I love this about my life? And that's something I was thinking about on the drive back from the bank, and I had to run a few errands. When I was coming back up my hill, coming home, I was thinking that. I was just like, most people, where was I going with that? Oh my gosh, I just lost it. It's just, I wish I could just rewind. I probably could with my phone, but, oh my gosh, it was there and then it was gone. Something about life and no, I'm gonna go listen back because it was there and then it left. Where'd it go? That's the good thing about, I guess, being live is you can go back and watch it. Let me go to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. It was there and then it left. Okay, close. Okay. Okay. Making a choice. There's a decision. There's a choice. This doesn't feel like love life. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Brianna. Thank you. Yes. It's like how many areas of your life? Maybe there's one area of life that you're like perfect, chef's kiss, couldn't be better. But for most people, there's maybe only one or none areas of life that you're just like top, leveled up, perfect, couldn't get 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10 stars, couldn't be better. Most people, they're like, oh, well, in my love life, I changed this. In my career, I changed this. Like, there's so much room for growth. There's so much room for expansion. There's so much room for change. But, based on a lot of our programming, we think, well, this is how it's always been done. So I better just fall in line and do it. And again, this is not us consciously thinking that. It's like very subconscious, very in the background, just humming along until we, as that God source spark awareness, decide, no, I don't want something better. I need something better because I deserve it, because I'm God. And this is not it for me anymore, sis. I'm out. Yes, timeline jumping. That's where this comes in. And when you get to a point, if you ever do, which it would be very possible, if you are very aware of your God, I am presence, your awareness as God in a human body, and other people, this is where you don't want to only remember your divinity. That's where people go wrong, where they go way off the rails. Remember cult leaders. No, we're not going down those roads. Remembering your divinity, remembering that dog that just pooped in your front yard's divinity. And that's a thing. That's actually a really great, because I've been trying to reframe my complaints. I've been trying not to complain. And even in like sympathy to other people who are complaining, because as empaths, as sympathy people, people who have compassion and sympathy, we can empathize and we can sympathize with people who are having a rough time at work or in that relationship, or, a friend that's venting to you. But I would even catch myself getting like angry or sad or upset because of what my friend was going through, or, something going on at my husband's work, or, whatever. But here's a prime example. So Ruthie, my younger of the two dogs, she once in like if it's just gone just a little too long and she has to go to the bathroom, she's not going to wait. So she's still, I specifically am really good about letting her out at least every hour when we're awake. And then I would say maybe twice a month she needs to go out sometime in the middle of the night, but she'll let me know by running back and forth in my room like 3 or 4 times. I'm a pretty light sleeper, so I'm already like up by the first or second time she's run, and then by the third, fourth, I'm like, okay, I'm getting up, we'll get you out. But it was in the night, and I can't even remember the whole circumstance, but my husband had to work late, so he got home, both the dogs were like completely taking up the bed, so he just slept down on the couch. And Boston was also on the couch on the other side of the couch, because Wrigley and Boston are still doing their fun nighttime routine that they like to fight. I call it the witching hour. Not me complaining, just observing. So he was also on the couch, and my husband was like, oh, such a rough night on that couch. It's so, whatever. But so when he did settle down there, then the dogs came down and were laying near him. But he was so tired. He's like, I'm just not going to bother getting up. But he fell asleep. And because Ruth was downstairs with him, she did come back up. But I either didn't hear her, or she just was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go. So she did do a little number 2 at the top of my stairs out here. And then my husband, he was the first one up. He's usually up at like 4:30, gets a shower, gets ready for work. And he's usually out the door by 6 before around the time I wake up. But, he did say it later in the day. He's like, oh yeah, Ruth left everybody a present at the top of the stairs. But, and this was actually, this was Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday. So, it was before Thanksgiving. So he worked, but we were all home. The rest of us were home, and Boston and Wrigley came up here like, oh my God, there's poop at the top of the stairs. This is so disgusting. And I'm like, I'm getting up and I'm going to clean it. And, the first thought is like, ew, so gross. Now I have to shampoo the carpet. And I mean, it wasn't like runny or anything, but sorry, TMI. And I know we're going to get back into our reading, but this just felt very, it just really rephrased things for me, that even something as nasty as your dog pooping on your carpet at the top of your stairs, you can find something to not complain about in that. And I'm getting to that point of the story. So I go and get this big old wad of toilet paper, and thankfully it was a very solid poop. So thank you for that, Ruthie. So as I'm bending down to clean it up, I got this vision of my dog Judy. And she passed away in the end of 2021. So it's been a hot minute, and that was like my soul pet. I loved her, still love her so much. And as I'm bending down to clean up Ruthie's poop, I'm like, no, I'm very grateful that I have this chore to do right now, even though it smells kind of bad. Not really that bad though, because we make their homemade dog food. So it has a slight smell, but nothing like, the commercial grade dog foods you get, that poop smells really nasty. This is barely has a smell to it at all, but it's nasty because it's poop, right? Yuck, gross. But as I'm bending down, I'm like, no, I'm actually really grateful that I have this poop cleaning chore to do right now, because that means I have a dog in my life that I love and that loves me. And Judy can't do this anymore here right now. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful right now that I'm cleaning up this poop from Ruthie, that I love her and she's here. She's in my life. I can go hug her when I'm all done with this. After I've washed my hands and everything, I can go hug her. So like, no, this is fine. This is fine. It's cool. It's cool. Like, whatever. So even the, no pun intended, shitty things that happen, we can reframe them, you know? I mean, I'm sure there are those things out there, like, you know, something really tragic happening that will be really hard to reframe, but I'm sure there are ways we can get through it. But yeah, one of the big things that I think ruins a lot of people's lives is just getting stuck in that rut of victimhood, victim mode, martyrdom, complaining, not having clear boundaries. All these things are kind of cousins, second, third, fourth cousins of each other that keep us feeling out of our own God spark or out of our own power. So for some reason, this had to be part of our collective reading. So there it is. Yuck, gross, but there it is. Period. Yeah, Brianna's laughing. Yeah. And Brandy has donated as well for a 1 card, so we're going to get you on the list as well. This is for me. We are thinking about getting a dog, and this is the main concern: the mess, the hair, the walks in the winter, etc. Yeah, so true. Whole extended family. Yeah. Changing our perspective, the lens through which we see, can completely shift our world. And that is so true, because suffering, and this is something that I could understand on like one level, but I'm getting it fully in a completely different level now. And it's about suffering being basically a matrix construct. Suffering does not exist in a true creation reality. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And perspective being, okay, this is, I think it's like a Chinese proverb or fable. I can't remember which, but it was of a Chinese farmer. So this is about perspective. This is about perspective. So a Chinese farmer had a horse run away, and all the neighbors are coming like, oh, that's so bad that happened to you. And he's like, maybe. But then the horse came back and he found a bunch of wild horses. So he brought 4 more wild horses back with him, because horses are like pack animals. They want to group together as like a community. They're a community-based type of animal. So he brings back 4 other horses. So this guy increased his horse count to really work his farm by like 4-fold, right? So then everybody's like, oh my God, that's so lucky that happened to you. And he's like, maybe. Well, then his son, there's one of these horses that's just really particularly difficult to break. So the son is working with this horse day in and day out. And one day, as he's working with this horse, the horse bucks him off and his son breaks his leg. And all the neighbors and people around are like, oh my God, that's so bad that happened to him. And the farmer's like, maybe. Well, like 3-4 days later, after the son breaks the leg, you know, the government or officials, the military come around because they need soldiers. There's a war breaking out, and we need fighters. Well, the son broke his leg. He's not able to fight, so he doesn't have to go to war. So all the neighbors, friends, family gathering around like, oh my gosh, that's so lucky. And the farmer's like, maybe. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Like, that's life though. You know, you have your ups, you have your downs. And it's like, maybe that bad thing that happened to you is keeping you from something even worse happening to you. Like, just perspective. Is this the best thing that happened to you? Maybe. Is it the worst thing that happened to you? Maybe. I just thought that was really beautiful to just really put things in perspective. You don't know why God spark awareness has put you in this specific, or, you know, the matrix programming has put you in this specific, you know, whatever it is. Just having that awareness to observe rather than attach to this outcome or attach to the fact that my life's over now, this bad thing happened. I mean, we're allowed as God's spark creator to do that. Absolutely. Feel free. And we've been doing it for millennia now, it sounds like. But, you know, how do you interpret your reality? That's up to you, because you're God, so you can interpret it any way you want, for better, for worse, for something in between. That's up to you. All right, back to our card reading, but I think all of this really is a reading in and of itself. You know how that goes. King of Pentacles. Okay, so we are making a choice quite possibly remember. It's been so long. I'll remind you that we had the Lovers card come out. The number 5, I like that they do actually number these tarot cards as well. The number 77 on the King of Pentacles, which I've been getting that number a lot. And I've also been seeing 911 a lot. And I went to the bank this morning to get a cashier's check out for my brother so that he can repair my mom's roof. It's a huge amount of accumulated live stream funds over the years that we're finally ready to take action to get my mom's roof going. And by we, I mostly mean my brother. My contribution is the financial part, and then he's going to actually do the work and the labor. So I went to get that cashier's check, and the time stamp when they ran that check through was 9/11/01. So I just thought that was so cool. But yeah, the numerology is seeming to really stand out to me in this for some reason. But the King of Pentacles, this is about literally making a choice to see or perceive reality in another way. And remind me, I can't remember if it's Michelangelo or I think it's Michelangelo that painted, it's something like this. It's like Adam and God reaching for each other. And they're like in a human brain, it looks like, with the pineal gland, like God's like over the pineal gland, something like that. I want to say it's Michelangelo. It could be Leonardo da Vinci, but I think it's Leonardo or Michelangelo. It's been following you for years. It's been following me on and off for years, but especially like the last 2 weeks, I'm like, oh my God, 911 again. But for me, it's always been not like a warning, but like, hey, just wait, things are going to be better. Things are going to get better and better and better. Yeah. So there's a choice by putting our awareness. And I love that this is the idea here, God and Adam. And I like that the name Adam is almost a play on atom, like ATOM, like we're comprised of atoms, but it's really the space between the atoms that takes up, that exists more. So it's almost like we are almost don't exist as matter, right? It just like blows your mind. But it's like, are you choosing the more human aspect of yourself or are you choosing the God aspect of yourself? Because the choice is yours. I mean, your awareness is going to be your awareness. So do you want it to be a more enlightened God spark awareness, or do you want it to just be this human programmed awareness that's just literally taking the bait or falling for this false flag or that bad news over there or whatever it is? It's the choice is yours. But you can take these choices and actually over these next 2 weeks, because that's how long this reading is for. And of course it might last 3 weeks, might last a month, who knows? But as far as the intention that was coming through was it feels about 2 weeks worth of time, linear time. So this is the King of Pentacles, about grounding our decision, our choices into physical reality. And of course that takes time, going from idea to writing it out to prototype to finished product can take linear time as we perceive it from our human eyes, but that doesn't mean it doesn't already exist. All right. What else do we need to know? Temperance. Wow, it's almost creating like a rainbow bridge. It almost looks like a rainbow bridge, doesn't it? Very blue toned rainbow, but hey. Wow, these are such pretty cards. I love this. Every little thing you do is magic is what it's called. Yeah, so fun. And then we have the Oracle of Cups or the Queen of Cups on the back. And this is about finding balance. Temperance is about balance, moderation, being able to temper in a new reality for yourself. And that's a thing. A lot of this like law of assumption stuff is based on a lot of Neville Goddard's teachings, I do believe. And I've heard of Neville Goddard. I've looked into some stuff. I don't own any of his books or anything, but I've watched videos in the past, and a lot of it does make sense. And he was really up on you got to feel it to make it your reality, because when you feel it, you're doing it. I would say that's fine because we are humans. Like feelings are a big part of the package that we experience here. But I would take it a step further. As the Rosie Life, she talks a lot about it's not so much the feeling, it's the knowing. And not knowing from your brain, but like knowing from your heart. And this is something that I'm like, yes, I don't know that from my brain. I know that from my heart. And that's like that claircognizance. When you just know something, but you don't know how that you know, but you know, that's not a brain level knowledge or knowing. That's a heart, spirit, I am God's source, spark awareness of knowing. So it's different than that brain thought knowledge knowing in that way. But yeah, and being very intuitive. So your intuition is probably going to be very on point. We have the number 48. And what was that other number? 14. Temperance is, yeah, always 14 in the deck. So but I'm seeing there's changes you're making to establish a new like blueprint for yourself. So let's just see. Let's go to the Money Moves Oracle. Not just a career deck, but we'll just see what comes out. What do we need to know over these next 2 weeks or so? Love life. And like I was saying earlier, and it feels very pertinent here too. Love of life. Not your love life per se, but your love of life. Do you love the life you're living? The answer is no. You don't have to be in this woe is me, victimhood, martyrdom. Well, I can't because ... That's a very, valid place to be, but it's also a very, I don't know, I almost want to say like dehumanizing place to be, but it just feels very disempowering because that's denying or ignoring the fact that you are God and you can create your reality. It's just that so many of us have forgotten that for so long that we're just so used to allowing the news or the government or how much this costs out at the store to create our reality for us. But just having that awareness that your awareness is your God spark and creation, life force, imagination, energy, you can start creating a new reality for yourself right now. Because that's the only time we have power in any moment is right now. And I've said that for years. But I'm even understanding that on an even deeper level than I did back then. It's so beautiful how these profound like heart knowledge just it becomes an even deeper knowing over time. But this says here, free from problems and money troubles, enjoy the passion of love, of life. Or if it is your love life, maybe there's some passion going on in your love life, but love and be loved. And that's what I was saying earlier. I can't remember if I finished that thought or went off on yet another tangent about, yes, you are that God spark awareness. You are God. But don't forget, everyone else and everything else is God too. And anything that is like matrix programming isn't even real because it's a mimic. It's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. A lot of this is just copies of copies of copies. It's not real. But of course, when it's in our 3D reality, it's realer than anything. So we just have to almost reprogram or shift our focus or our awareness to realize that a lot of what we see as reality is false reality and not buy into it, not take the bait, not fall for it anymore. And the more you do put that into practice, the less in your awareness it's going to be. You're going to be basically creating heaven on earth is what this feels like. And that's why, a lot of these people are like, we're not here to evolve. We're not here to learn. And to a point, I agree. But to another point, I disagree because while we're here, why not learn something? Why not evolve? Why not create? Yeah, they say this matrix is a dumpster fire. Okay, I agree. But hey, I'm going to pull out my stick and my marshmallow and my s'mores materials, and I'm going to make a s'more while I'm here. Like, I'm not just going to be this fatalistic kind of surrender. Like, I'm trapped in the matrix. I'm probably not even going to get out when I die. So, like, what's the point? Like, I was there for a minute. Like, I'm like, what do I even do? Like, how? But then, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and I'm back to now feeling way more empowered than probably I ever have been, which is a good place to be. It's like, oh, there's a matrix here that is allegedly trapping souls or spirits here, and they want to upload us to some copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Well, good luck with that, because when these people, these awarenesses that are true spirits, get the news that that's what you're doing, game over. Yeah, game over. Might take some linear time for us to really get the memo that game's over, but game's over for them. It really is, because they don't exist. And I know it feels very real because they're literally running this matrix system. Well, there's the illusion that they're running it. Our creative life force, I am, God's spark awareness, whatever you want to call that, is what's running this matrix. And when we pull that power back to ourselves and create the reality we want to see, matrix, game over for you in the back, game over. It's like Ricola, game over. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood today. All right. So that was our little collective reading over the next 2 weeks. Yeah, you're taking your power back, you're taking your awareness back. And if you catch yourself going back into old ways of being, oh well, you might have fallen for it for a moment, but just you being aware that you fell for it, that's all you need. And you're back on your high horse, so to speak. Love it. All right. So, oh, you feel the number has a better meaning than the one it has got after the event that happened. Right, right. Yeah, the 911 event. Yes. Portal opening under the rainbow. Ooh, did I miss that? Yeah, it felt to me like some sort of like rainbow bridge, or like bridging the gap, heaven on earth. That's what that temperance card really was saying for me on this. I love that. All right, Linda, and it looks like she's got her first question. She wanted to do 2 one-card pulls, which one card's never one card. I'm doing this a lot today. Sorry, you guys. Yeah. All right, so let me. Okay, so Linda has 2 one-card pulls, and then we have Brandy Lynn with a 1-card pull. So Linda, I'm gonna just retype it out because I don't want to scroll back up. So, and then okay, we're back. And I just put Linda H just as Linda H without the, oops. Let me delete that. I was trying to email someone earlier. Okay. I just deleted it and copied what I already had copied into my chat and then pushed enter. So let me go back up. That'll just be time saver. I don't even know that we need a donation list. I mean, there's literally 2 people with 3 donations, but I'll just do it. There, I found it. Why is it doing that? I copied it again and then it copied the same email address. That's not okay. Command C is copy. It just keeps copying the email address. I don't know. Maybe my command button is broken. Okay, I am gonna type it out. How about that? Yes, let's type it out. I tell you, this has been, and not me complaining, just observing, such a Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh. 3 different packages were sent with the completely wrong merchandise, and then they just said, oh, just keep it, whatever, we'll send you a different one. But still, kind of whatever. And then my direct deposit setup for my new job was, they got the check at the bank, but they had my account number was wrong on the direct deposit, so I had to resend that. Like, just things like this that are like little nuisances. I'm just like, what's going on? All right, I'm finally getting this entered. Okay, there we go. That's what the donation list looks like. Okay. Question 1, can I trust my sister? Torn if I should visit her. Let's see. Torn if I should visit her and if there will be tension or good feelings. Okay, so let's just boil this down to the current timeline you're on, current reality you're in, alignment with your true spirit for Linda. Can she trust her sister? Okay, I can see why you're hesitant, because she's proved to you in the past that, yeah, there's maybe it's like, it's not that she's outright lying, but almost like withholding certain information or just telling you what you want to hear almost, rather than the truth of what's going on. And again, I don't even feel like this is a really bad thing or a reason that she's withholding information. It's just, it feels like that's just her energy. I don't know why. But I have the 8 of Pentacles here, so it's worth the effort to continue to create this relationship with her. And after all we've been talking about, I can see that it stresses you out. We do have 9 of Swords on the back. After all we've been talking about shifting to that reality where she is more forthcoming, where she is more emotionally open. That's what this feels like. I know it's a Pentacle card, which is more physical, but I'm getting like Cups. Like, she's not very emotionally forthcoming. I mean, she has her moments, but then at other times she just kind of keeps it close to the chest. Is kind of how I feel. But about tuning in or tapping into that version of her that is more in alignment with who you are and what you want to experience with her. So I do see it's worth building that relationship with, because you can make things better. Things can be better here. And this is what the outcome looks like if you do put the effort in. So I do see it most likely the tension's just releasing or letting go somehow by you just declaring it so. And I know that sounds out there, and I know that sounds delulu, but stranger things have happened. But this feels like you having a much better connection, much better relationship with her because you've set that intention that that's what you're going to experience. And again, the past, I just heard the past is a liar. Especially if we are, and again, I know it sounds delusional. I know that. I know it sounds very spiritually bypassy, if that's even a word. But when you can start to understand that I am awareness and that so much of what we've experienced in the past, and then we will ruminate on something and it will just shift every time that we tap back into that past moment that's past. Yes, it's happening in a now moment, but it's literally passed away. So really, but as humans, we're programmed to believe that the past is real and relevant, and we keep dragging it along. So what I can see with this is you being able to tap into that potential to let a lot of this past stuff go in whatever way feels good, whether you're literally letting it go or just declaring, no, we have a better relationship from here on out or whatever can help. And I know, again, it sounds very delusional, but when you start to look more into the law of assumption and stuff, you can see your whole reality shift by you assuming something different with your awareness. Being aware of other facets of things in your now moment can shift this. But this looks like you're able to experience a much better version of her because you yourself are like putting that intention there. Yeah, she withholds a lot of info, and I am almost not sure what to believe what she tells me. She invited me out and wasn't sure how it would go because she was distant for a while. I'm cautious because of last year. Yeah. And again, I just keep hearing the past is a liar, but that's our best case of judgment as a human based on a certain person's past actions. I burned myself twice by putting my hand on that burner. I'm not going to do it a third time. So there are like learning experiences here. So it's like you can take from the past experiences, like I'm hearing, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's take what you've learned from past experiences, but the experiences themselves, you can let that go somehow. And I know that's easier said than done, especially when it's family or someone we've got a lot of emotions and a lot of charge behind, especially if it's been going on for years and years and years. Like, well, I can't just let the past go. I can't just let that slide. She's done some things, I get it. But let's just see any further advice in moving forward with your sister. Let's go to this deck. But yeah, I do see you taking that invitation and actually having a good time and a good experience and her being more open. It's almost like you are, and this is something Rosie Life talks about a lot too, is about you being the actor, the director, the producer of like a movie. And other I am or other God presences, awarenesses are also actors in your movie, but you're the one that's the main character. And you're the one that decides, oh, actually, side character number 3, actually, I don't want you to stand there. I want you over here. So it's almost like you're literally mapping out your reality by the intentions you're setting. And, it's like once a cheater, always a cheater. But like, is that just because that's what we've heard? Or is that because that's the reality you're expecting to have happen to where now, again, awareness, presence of, where is your perspective, your perception leading you? Because it is what you perceive or believe you're perceiving. It becomes that reality for you. And then that becomes the constant. Yeah, that's what this feels like. So it's like you're shifting to a version of her that is more forthcoming because that's what you're expecting. And Champion of Wands is the Knight of Wands. So moving forward, being able to make that, set up that opportunity to hang out or meet up with her. And that will go pretty well. Yeah. And then Apprentice of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles, a new beginning in your connection because you have deemed it to be. That's what you're wanting. That's what you're intending. And that's what you'll get. Yeah. And, while you really lean into this reality shifting, reality transurfing, law of assumption, whatever, if you choose to, you don't have to choose to. I'm just giving you guys, like when I feel like, oh my gosh, revelation, epiphany, mind blown, mic drop. Like, I want to share it with you guys because it can help. It can help. Oh, the horse and the sunflower are signs from your dad. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah. Very cool. See, you're getting sign symbol synchronicities that I'm not even pointing out. So I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think he would love that. I can absolutely see he would love that. Because what parent would want their kids to fight purposely? I mean, I've met some people out there that let me tell you. But for the most part, parents want to foster or, help a connection if they could. Yeah. All right, Linda. So I hope that helped. Yeah, I don't see anything too concerning here. And then, of course, if you're setting intentions that, okay, things are just, they're only getting better from here, only getting better from here, then what are you intending that they're only getting better from here? But if you're intending that, well, I'm just going to see what she does because she'll probably prove me right that she's still up to her old tricks, well, then she will be up to her old tricks. I know it's such a mind effort to like get our own selves out of these old perceptions and perspectives. But if we can remember, we are co-creating this reality with other God Spark awarenesses, and then, have the whole 3D matrix thrown into the mix as well. But remembering that we are not powerless in a lot of situations. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful that you do send her love and light every day. That's so cool. Oh, you got to grab the kids from the bus. Okay. No worries. We have one card for Linda. So I can do a shout out between now and then just to see if you're back yet. But I can always timestamp or just hold off a minute, whatever works. Okay. So question 2 for Linda. Let me take a quick drink of my coffee. Well, it's mushroom coffee, but yeah. Peppermint. I keep putting peppermint in. I maybe put a little too much peppermint in today, but that's fine. Peppermint oil for the win. It's not every day you get minty fresh breath from your coffee. I just did though. Very cool now. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, Marlene, I'm still doing candles. I just now saw that. So if you're still here and we're wondering, yeah, absolutely. You can email me at amanda@donephotodesign.com. I'll write that out. I wrote that right. Okay, there it is. Yeah, for sure. Feel free. All right, so question 2, yes, no. Oh, my son has a court case on December 11th. Will the outcome be as favorable as possible? He has had a tough year. Okay. So again, Linda, you are in the driver's seat of your reality. If you want him to have a good outcome, that's the intention you're setting. But let's just get into the current energy of what's going on. What's the most likely choice? Yeah, right. And that's what this feels like to me. It's like, and if this is tying into that mistake he made in the past, and then you're like, but wait, you've done this twice now. It doesn't matter. Like he does have a good spirit, and he made a mistake a couple times maybe. But yeah, so this is not me tuning into the question. This is me just tuning in. Like it's done. Like he's never going to make that mistake again. But as far as the court case itself, how will this outcome be? How will this outcome be? He's in charge. You're in charge. It's going your way. It's in your favor. This is always a yes. Emperor is someone very in charge, very in control, very in their power. They're not disempowered. There's no one above the emperor as far as in the physical realm in the tarot. Top dog right here. So things are going to go in his favor. This tower is leaving the old reality behind. He's leaving that behind because this is what came. They were both kind of sticking out. I hope you saw that before I pulled them out. But I pulled this one out first and I said, this is the clarifier. So going from like, this is bad. Okay, the house is burning down to literally brand new beginning, beautiful home, beautiful connections. Again, that's not what's literally happening, but energetically speaking, going from can't get any worse to can't get any better. So he's definitely going to learn from this, move on from this. And he's like, it feels like cloud nine energy that, oh my gosh, yes, I will be on my best behavior. I promise I won't do this again. Like it feels like a really good outcome here. It really does. Let's just see anything else Linda needs to know about the process or that day leading up to it. Just anything. Yeah, literally just putting the past behind, gathering up all these burdens, all this stress that this has caused, and leaving it behind. As of that day, being able to leave it in the past, literally. And the truth of his true spirit, or the fact that he is a good person that made a mistake, that will be the highlight here. That's what this feels like is, I do see if this, whether it's his judge or jury or whatever, whoever is in charge of this or overseeing this they've seen enough of what actually is going on out there. These people who are recurring repeat offenders of things and doing, and just the general vibe. I think a lot of someone who wants to get into the position of being a judge, you've got to have, hopefully, a good judge of character. And I do see that the judge is empathizing with the situation and seeing that, again, good person that did a maybe mistake or a bad thing. All right, anything else for Linda's son? There's your dad popping in yet again, but Apprentice of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. So even if he has to pay something back, or I don't know if this is like a probation or just having to check in with someone. I don't know what that exactly looks like, but he's moving his way out of it. Let's get a clarifier on this, because I don't see this as any kind of prison or jail time. Not at all. No. Elder of Cups. So this is someone in a position of authority, a masculine. This feels like your dad's energy, actually. Yeah, this feels like the like patriarch of the family kind of energy coming in, and he's learned from this mistake, your son. He's learned from it, but he's going to continue to learn and grow from this on deeper levels than just 3D reality, 3D matrix. Let's get a couple of tea leaf oracles just to see. These things can like tell the truth. I love this deck. So Claw, be careful, do not take risks. So what I see as far as the court stuff goes is just to be on the straight and narrow. Oh, and then the seahorse. Yes, I missed that part. Yeah. This is be on the straight and narrow. And I'm actually reading this more for your energy, Linda, is don't even entertain the fact that anything can go badly here. Because it feels so solid and so set in stone that the past is being left behind. That because this is you asking a question about your son, so this is obviously your reality we're tuning into, also his, but also yours, that you're the one holding down the timeline where things are best case scenario. That's why I keep hearing best case scenario. So even if that is somehow paying back like a community service or a restitution or whatever it is, there's some sort of energetic exchange because of the mistake that was made. But again, it doesn't feel like jail time or because that to me it's such a weird thing. It's like you did this bad thing, now go sit in a box for a while and think about what you did. Like there's got to be a better way to, I don't know, rehabilitate or to have someone pay back for what they did. I don't know. I don't think that the way the prison systems are set up are it, or even the county jails. I don't know that that's it. I don't think anyone learns anything from that. But as far as your son goes, and you don't even entertain those negative thoughts that something other than best case scenario could happen here. Okay. Because opportunity or windfall. And then new home or new attitude. And hello, we had the new home card. But again, this can be more energetically speaking. Literally cleaning house on the mistake. Because this is the energy you're moving into. New attitude, new energy, good stuff. And I did drop something. What was it? I don't know if this is one we already had or what. Yeah, the opportunity or windfall. So opportunity, and this is a good opportunity. This is not something bad. This is a good opportunity. So yeah, there's a best case scenario. That's what I keep hearing. So whatever happens on that day, it's a best case scenario. December 11th. And that's like a countdown, 12/11. That's like a countdown. What's this countdown about? This feels like his future. Yeah. 10. Oh, 12/11/10. That further countdown. Look at that. You can't make this stuff up. It's like a countdown to something good because I'm clarifying that opportunity or windfall. Oh my gosh. He lived with us this semester and wants to move out for next. Okay, then it's a countdown to being able to launch. You know, they usually start at 10 and then work their way back, but you know, he did have a bit of a setback. So instead of starting at 10, we're maybe starting at 12. But he's counting himself down to be able to launch himself back out there and get back out there and get back in the game of life, so to speak. Wow, pretty empowering, pretty powerful. So don't waver on the knowing that best case scenario. All right, Linda, big hugs to you because I can't even imagine how stressed you are as a mom. I would also be in your shoes, probably so stressed out and just wanting, of course, best case scenario, but then what if? Best case scenario. All right. You'll have to keep us posted, but best case scenario. Yes. All right, Linda, big hugs to you. You're so welcome. That's the best part of what I do is just reassuring. Like that just makes me so happy just to know someone's been reassured. And then look on the back of the deck as we put it all back. Miss Sovereignty herself, as I like to call the Queen of Wands. She's stepping into her power and she's not taking any answer but the one she wants, the one she's intended, the one she expects. Because it's already hers. It's already done. Because there's a timeline where things go off the rails. There's a timeline where things are perfect and amazing. There's a timeline for every little and huge change and shift. So choose and tune in, Linda, to the outcome you are seeking. And you will find it and you will grasp it and it will be yours. Oh, the sunflower again. Oh my gosh, yes. Wow. And not every card I have has sunflowers. And probably when we do Brandy Lynn's reading next, probably not going to be any sunflowers. So unless those are signs that she needs. But I love that. Yeah, 2 different decks. Sunflowers coming out, left and right. I love that. I know, I'm pretty sure the sunflower is like in the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, it is in the Queen of Wands, but it's not in the Knight of Wands. Ooh, I got chills. I got chills down the left side of my leg and now the right side of my head. That was weird. But yeah, in the Knight of Pentacles. So that's just exclusive to this deck. Oh, wow, there is a portal. Amber did mention the portal under the rainbow. Wow, I just now noticed that from our collective reading when we had this card. Yeah, it's like you're literally creating the bridge from where you're at right now, Linda, to whatever reality you want to experience on December 11th and thereafter with your son. So create the reality you want to have happen. Because it already is the most likely potential just in the energy you're in. But if you can be stepping into your sovereignty and claiming it to be, your hard work will pay off because that's on the back. So, yes. And another carrot. Remember, he had the carrot card with the windfall or opportunity. Because it's going to shift his life. And then we had, to clarify that, we had the Wheel of Fortune and the countdown. So this is actually going to help him move on. He's going to be able to move on from this because it's been hanging over his head for a minute now. If I remember correctly, it was at least before May, if I remember correctly, when he made this mistake, and then has been probably stressfully paying for it in his mind ever since, and you as well. So yeah, it's almost like the sentence is over once. That's what it feels like, even if he's got some little thing to do about it. But again, best case scenario, you're going to be celebrating, excitement, fireworks. Thank God. And you are God, so thank yourself, right? Again, you're not the only God. That's where the cult leaders get it wrong. And I will say that. I need to make that a shirt. That would be a hilarious shirt. You're God, or I'm God, but I'm not the only God. That's where the cult leaders got it wrong. That would be a fun shirt. I'm sure you'd get a lot of, especially super Christian people being like, you think you're God? Oh my God. I mean, gosh, I didn't want to take the Lord's name in vain. Oh my gosh. First incidents. Oh, in May 2nd incident. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it felt like something from May, like energetically. That's the time frame it was tuning into. All right. Well, wishing you the very, very best. Yes, I love that Temperance card. It's a pretty one. All right, Brandy Lynn is here. So let's get into it for Brandy. I just finished my yearly reading for 2025, personal year 1. Ooh, exciting. On a universal year 9. That's going to be a very interesting energy you're going to be in. And I was wondering if Spirit had any final thoughts. Okay, we're going in. We're going in for Brandy Lynn. What does she need to know? It's a 1-card pull, but you guys know me. It's never 1 card. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So Knight of Cups. So something about your emotional involvement, emotional investment. And we have the number 45. No, that's a 46, Amanda, which adds up to a 10, which adds up to a 1. Personal year 1. Yeah, it looked like a 45, but that's a 46. It's closed on the end there where the little circle would be for a 6. Yeah. So, and this does feel like new beginning energy. So, obviously, you're going to be starting some new things this 2025 for yourself. So, you may even be starting a new project, because this to me feels like, I mean, the Page of Cups, what I'm actually seeing is the Page of Cups in this deck, which is like a younger person painting on a canvas. I probably won't find it in any timely enough manner to show you, but I think you might be aware enough of this deck to remember what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is the Page of Cups from this deck. If I could just find it real quick, that'd be great. Yeah, it's like a person with a canvas, like with a paintbrush and a canvas. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Young person. Yeah, and this feels to me like you're starting a new project. Yes, you're probably also wrapping up projects and continuing on projects, but there's also this project that you're just like, and as I say that too, this feels very much like something with your publishing journey. Again, we don't know quite what that looks like yet, unless you maybe have some insight on that already. Something with your publishing journey, you're discovering a new way forward with. Something that you've already been working on, you're finding a new way to present it to the world. That could also be what this means. I'm also getting the vibe of possible kind of side project that's just for you, just for fun, but becomes so big to you that it then becomes bigger than just you. You want to share it with others eventually. But 2025, just in general, because it really wanted to focus in on your creative endeavors first. But 6 of Wands, there's victory here. The number 37 also adds up to 10, also adds up to 1. Come on now. Yeah, so this is definitely, like, you're changing a lot of things, because this is new beginning energy, like 3 times over at least now. The first Q in the world, February, and the Tower, March. Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting energies. But yeah, there's something you're beginning here. Something you're beginning here. But whatever it is that is ending, it's somehow ending in a victory. Even if it looks kind of like a mixed blessing, something going on that's a mixed blessing, you're going to actually look back and be like, actually, the fact that that happened made this other thing happen. So like, that was probably a good thing that happened. That's what this feels like, to clarify. Something ending, and then the Tower in March. Yeah. Woo! Slippery energy. So it may not be the easiest transition during that time of year, but I love that this card came out. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So you're going to get, slow and steady. You'll work your way through whatever this is. It's not going to derail you. It's not going to get you down. You're still victorious. You're still succeeding in something. It just may be that you're closing things out, and that could be part of that universal year 9 energy popping in to end something so that you can then begin something. I know that sounds redundant, but that's what this feels like. And this is some sort of horned looking beetle bug thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think some beetles can create like crop damage or something to crops. But I just heard the yield is still higher than expected. The yield is still higher than expected. So even if it's perceived that you've lost something, or something has been damaged, or you have to scrap something, come back and start anew on something,
the yield is producing higher than you expected. Yeah, maybe that is a rhino beetle. He looks like one. Yeah, maybe look into the symbolism of that to see if you can get some further downloads about it. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, but there's technically, well, it's like there's 5 pentacles if you count the big gold coin, and then there's 4 other smaller kind of coin looking things, circular objects going on in the card, which is like a 5 of Pentacles situation, feeling something was left out or lost. Again, kind of going with that World and Tower. What is this saying for Brandy Lynn's 2025? You're overcoming it. Whatever it is, it's not going to keep you down, because now we have the Knight of Wands being able to, yes, have this slow, steady build for something, but whatever those Tower moments are in and of themselves, and the World card in February, the incidents themselves you're moving through quite quickly. It's just to plan your course moving forward from that is taking you time to kind of lay the foundation for something new. If that probably doesn't make any sense, but it makes very energetic sense when I read into it. I just hope it makes sense to you. So yes, the moments themselves, or those months themselves, whatever it is that's transpiring, I'm going to try to explain this better. Whatever it is that's transpiring during the World month of February and the Tower month of March, the incidents themselves, you'll be able to get up and go past, like, okay, whatever, ending, so that I can map myself a new course, which, might take a bit of time to implement, but you're making it happen. So this is not like completely derailing you, detouring you, none of that. It's just, wrapping something up so you can make a really solid foundation moving forward. Not to say, though, that it might not cause some stress, because, what's life without some stress? But hey, that's a beautiful thing about this, Brandy Lynn. If you don't like or don't want to experience this, you can shift out of it. It's almost like you can have the reality you want without having to even experience this. But let's see what's going on. Anything else Brandy Lynn needs to know? Final thoughts. And I'm hearing we're moving on past that part of the year, kind of more into the summer months. So I'm not sure. I'm seeing June, July, August highlighted. So whatever you got for those months. And we have 7 of Cups. So it almost is like those energies are not set in stone, that you can shift something. Shed that old skin. Shed and shift the old beliefs. Again, this is like that universal year 9 coming in to be like, let's close this out. Let's shed these old beliefs. Let's remove this old whatever, so that your new beginning energy of your personal year can really shine during these summer months. All right. And then the last, so September, October, November. So I guess the last 4 months of the year. Anything Brandy Lynn needs to know final thought-wise on those months? Okay. And we have the 7 of Swords. Okay. This feels like tricky energy, trickster energy, but you're overcoming it. So it's like you might feel like for a moment here and there, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You're not 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's oh my gosh, this can get out of control fast. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So you're still progressing, even if you have to go back and kind of finesse something, or maybe you change your mind about something. And again, I think that's just the dichotomy of the 9 universal year playing into the energy of your 1 personal year. Did I say that right? 9 universal, 1 personal. Yeah. So it's almost like if you were like in a 1 year and an 8 universal year, you would probably just be like zooming right through and just figuring so much out. Like those energies are really supporting each other, but it almost is like a 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, where your personal year is saying, hey, go for it. New beginning, Aries energy. Let's get going. Let's make some things happen. And then your, universal 9 year is like, let's close out these old things. Let's make this happen. But it's funny because you've had a personal year. I think that's how that works. Didn't you just have a personal year 9? I might be making that up, because I know sometimes you can have a personal year 11 or whatever.
So whatever your personal year is this year, it feels like you've already kind of wrapped things up or kind of closed certain cycles out on, especially like the publishing path. You're like, well, I guess that's not happening, so I can just kind of close that cycle out and kind of tune into new energy. So yeah, it's very interesting. But then we have the 56, which adds up to a 11. But this was the clarifier on it, which is a 7. So it's almost like by leaning into your more spiritual side or the more spiritual realms, you can find solutions to overcome anything that feels like it's standing in your way. Matrix, other people, scheduling conflicts, whatever mundane life can throw the wrench in your gears for something that you're working on or trying to create or begin in your life in September, October, November, December. Yeah, because I kind of lumped those last months of the year together in this part of the reading. But you're going to be able to move forward. May is 10 of Swords, but it's the pick. Oh, the pick is a woman looking into the mirror, and the reflection has all the swords, and the actual woman doesn't. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's almost like, are things really as bad as I think they are? Because that's the reflection, that's the perception of things looking into the mirror. But when you actually, again, the 3D reality that we look around is again still past energy or past manifestation. But are things really as bad as it looks like out there or in this reflection? Again, that could be world events as well. Because who knows what's going to happen in February, March, May, whenever, like on the world stage. There just may be very concerning things going on. 2025 is a pretty tumultuous, especially the first half, pretty tumultuous energies. At one point, I want to say it's in May, we're going to have 8 planets in one house. Can't remember what sign that would be. It'd have to be Pisces. I think it would have to be Pisces because Saturn's moving into Pisces. North Node's already in Pisces. Neptune's already in Pisces. Of course, the moon's doing its thing, so it's probably included at some point. Venus is currently in, where is Venus currently? Capricorn right now, or about to. I'm talking Vedic terms here. Mars is currently, I don't think Mars will be involved, but it might be aspecting. It may be 8 planets involved, not all in one house, but including aspects. I can't remember, but I want to say it may have been Joni Petrie talking about that. I can't remember, but I was just like, oh my gosh. Wow, what a ish storm going on in May. I'm going to be mentally checking out in May. No. May's the only 2-card month, and the other card is the Hermit. Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Hermit is kind of removing yourself or going within. Hermit is, it's not the number 7 card. I do believe it's a number 9 card, but it gives very life path 7 vibes, or just 7 in general vibes, just very spiritual. And it has to be Amber's birth month. I mean, because why not? Right? Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. It was probably 2 weeks ago. I just randomly saw, it was something Joni had talked about. Maybe it was more recent than that. Time has been a weird thing lately, let me tell you. So I don't even know for sure. But let's just get closing thoughts. I know this was a 1-card read, but I'm just being generous today. So we're just going in. Closing thoughts for Brandy. Because I keep going off on tangents, so, Ooh, 8 of Swords. Okay, so again, just staying out of your own head, or again, is it as bad as what it seems, or can I shift my perspective and actually see something better? And a clarifier on the 8 of Swords as well, just as the culmination here. Yeah, with your hard work, with your effort, with your intention, you're going to be able to shift through this and be doing pretty darn good. So yeah, let's just get a Money Moves Oracle to close it out, just because why not? I know. It's just too fun. I just like hanging out with you guys. Moving up. Career is on the rise. New offers and opportunities. Salary increase. Go to the next level. And because you're more, self-employed, so to speak, you're just moving on up with the things that you are doing as your, main career. You're moving on up. Things are looking more cohesive, and yeah, wealth. You're moving toward, yeah. There's 2 cards that say moving. Not that you're moving, like house. I don't see that you're moving house, but then you had the 2 knights, which are movement, momentum. So you're definitely moving. You're moving the dial, or the, you know, you're moving ahead. Oh, is that October's card? Okay. So especially for October, this feels like you being able to work through, and 2 8s. And oct means 8. Look at that. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. October should be the 8th month, but then they went and changed everything. So really, it's like 888 energy. I mean, the true Lion's Gate would be in October if you're going by the truth of things. I don't know. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. And then the number 8 of Pentacles, 7 plus 1 is 8. And we have a 12 or 57. 33 or 6. I'm just giving you all the numerology here. 75, which is inverse of the 57. So these 2 are inverse of each other. It's both adding up to 12. And the Chariot was also a 7. So yeah, we did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 card reading. Plus 12 card reading. For the price of 1, because that's just how I roll. All right. 8 of Swords is October. Yeah. I see you being able, and that's kind of the thing, is like, that's something I did last year, was I tuned in and I did that whole live stream of us doing our cards of the year. And well, I can't remember if we did our cards of the year, but then we did like a full month spread. Like we were kind of just all on our own, and I even did mine with you guys live just to show you, if you were wondering how and want to do it on your own. I don't know if you guys want to do something like that again or not. Yeah, we might have time for a cosmic question. I might just try to keep it on the shorter side just because. But yeah, let's do that. Let's just say we're going to do a cosmic question. Let's get into it. I'm going to timestamp though, because, and I need to make some custom thumbnails for the past cosmic questions and get them in a playlist. They're already time-stamped, I do believe, but I just need to go back and find them and get them all compiled so they're easy to find if we want to revisit those at any point. Or if someone just stumbling upon this crazy live stream we do here. Oh, there's my pen. Okay. So we're at 1:52:17. Yeah, I was going to say my time during the day, like just to do whatever, has completely gone. It's gone. I'm working like all day, like 4 to 5 days a week at this point. So all these little things, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. It won't take too long. I'm like, I don't even have time to do that now, because even though there are time at times, there is some time between calls or chats on my other job. I can never predict, exactly when they're going to be. And sometimes I have like a line of people that are calling to talk. So I can't even just hang up. I got to stay on the line until everybody's done. And sometimes, like I gave myself like a half-hour break just so I could, use the bathroom, and, my throat's been doing its thing. So making sure I have like a hot beverage or a cold beverage next to me so that I can actually keep my voice going. That I'm like, I don't even have time. I almost had maybe 8 minutes the other day, even though I scheduled myself off for a half hour, because the call I had come in a few minutes before I was about to log off for that half hour extended me till 8 minutes before I had to log on again. So I was just like, it's kind of unpredictable. I could probably sit down and tune into the energy of it each day and be predicting the unpredictability of it maybe, but I haven't gone that far yet. But I'm going to create a new timestamp because I talked for too long. So we're at 1:53:47. Cool story, bro. Okay, cosmic question, and I just pulled it out. I don't know if you guys saw that. Hopefully you saw me do that. But here it is. Ooh, it's from Brandy Lynn. Ooh, okay. So the Bermuda Triangle. What happened to those missing? Okay. And maybe just tuning into the energy of the Bermuda Triangle in general, just to see what the heck is going on. I'm already like getting downloads of like Vortex, Portal. I just heard Energy Hijack Point, which that's something I was calling the chakras. Remember? Energy hijack points. I just heard that in my awareness. So for some reason we're going to this this one, but I also, this has been like our ride or die for our cosmic questions, this White Newman Tarot. Decks everywhere. Not the word you thought I said. Deck. Decks. Okay, so we'll start with the Wake Me Up Tarot. Bermuda Triangle. What happened to those who went missing in the Bermuda Triangle? Woo! Okay. Ooh, wow. So it has something to do with the sun energy. We have the sun. So there's something to do with maybe the magnetosphere. Because what I'm seeing is like the distance between. Okay, so what I'm seeing in my awareness is it's like a snow globe. Like there's like an encasement above the earth, like this. And it's not that the sun's way millions of miles away, like whatever. There's like a localized sun inside. And something to do with, and it's interesting because, you know, time being that illusion that it is, what it feels like to me is that something about, there's only certain times a day where that portal's active, and other times a day it's like, oh, what portal? It doesn't exist. It does, but just dimensionally, something to do with the way the sun will transit that area or go away from that area. Something with the time of day. And that's interesting because I know they still fly planes through there at certain times of day. I don't know if it's all the time or just certain times. I don't know if that's something they've already tuned. I've never heard that personally about only certain times a day is the Bermuda triangling. I don't know. But what happened to those that were missing? What is that? You see that like rocket in the background? Like going up? What the heck? Okay, now I'm confused. What happened to those missing? Okay, so it has something to do with the portal of the sun reacting to the portal of the Bermuda Triangle. So what happened to those that were missing? What is this? Okay. The portal of those missing. So we had the sun, but then we had people cards. Of all the cards that can come out, you know, we could get the Eight of Pentacles or the Two of Swords or whatever. No, we got a king and a knight. And it's weird because something about the masculine people who are born male, go missing more often than people born female. And it has something to do with, I'm seeing like the heart as its own magnetic field. So it's not even the fact that a plane is flying over or a whatever, missiles they're sending over or drones or whatever. It's the human heart field or the magnetic field of the heart that the portal somehow, like I'm seeing like sucks them in, or it's weird because I almost see, again, I'm seeing like the space between atoms, which is like, they say, oh, that's like nothing. It's dark matter or whatever. So this is maybe somehow what they're trying to do, because I'm now seeing a connection to CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. It's like 60 miles wide around circle. And then they did a big like satanic looking ceremony when they opened CERN. Yeah, it feels very ritualistic, something to do with, I just heard trapped souls. What's that about? What's that about? And I just heard this is an ancient practice. Ancient practice, trapped souls. The people who are controlling things, or, you know, think they're still in control even though their writing's on their wall about getting out. The people who are pulling the strings, it's like they've lost control, and that's why they've lost control of that portal. So the trap, I see, wow. So I see all these trapped souls that were somehow interdimensionally, it's like they disappeared out of this reality, but they're now in a different reality. And it actually doesn't feel nefarious, which is weird because it's trapped souls. Like that sounds really scary. But it's like, it's almost like that's what they want you to think, is like, this is scary. Stay away from this place. But no, if you are, But for some reason, there's more, and it's not that because they are male, like I was kind of getting at earlier, something about the males disappear more often. It's not because they are male. It's because more males are going over this area. Maybe more male pilots, more male people on board of these aircraft that are going missing or something. That's why. It's not because they're male. It's just more males are disappearing because there's more males going over this point. And it's not, okay, so it's out of control of the Matrix. So it's in original. So they had it hijacked, but it's no longer hijacked. Energy hijacked point. Remember, now we're coming full circle from the beginning. No longer hijacked. Oh, it's interesting. And we have a safe here, but I saw it as the number 10. Do you see that? Is that reading as a 10 to you or an 01? I don't even know. But it's a safe, but from here it looks like the number 10. And I know we're talking about October being the 8th month, but to me this is like something in October, something with the way the sun goes in October. And not that there's any kind of solstice or there's not even a equinox or anything in October, but it's something to do. Oh, not every October. Interesting. So not every October, but specifically this October, this past October that just happened. Something changed. Okay. Wow. This is just coming in pieces and parts, not pizza. Pieces and parts. So there was something they had attempted to do in October with their missiles and their military. It feels be above military, but they might just call it military for the sake of, putting a label on it. Some sort of craft. It looks like some sort of, as they call them now, IAP or something, unidentifiable aerial something. IAP? UAP. Unidentifiable aerial phenomena. These are not actually UFO or extraterrestrial anything. This is something above government. Those who think they're still pulling the strings went in this area, and I have not even heard of the Bermuda Triangle in the news in I don't know how long. So I don't even know if there's any kind of news about something that could have gone on in October. Yeah, October. Yeah, it's the 10th month, but it should be the 8th month or something. But they attempted to do something to bridge the gap between this reality and the original Matrix to, wow, I'm getting so many downloads. What I'm seeing is like a Swiss cheese, like coming all over the earth, where the Matrix itself is the cheese. Like, the cheese was completely weird and out. Like we usually go out there on these readings, but today we're going out there in these readings. And I just heard Swiss cheese effect. I don't know if that's a thing. What is that? I don't know. But what I'm seeing energetically speaking, as far as the Matrix frequency net that was put over this planet, when certain human people with the true spirit go over these energy hijack points that were original energy vortexes of the original creation of this planet, these ley lines, these vortexes, these portals, so to speak, when people's just heart energy, spirit energy coming in through the human vessel with the heart goes over these points, we're unlocking. So when you physically visit certain places or called to certain places, you are, with your I am presence, true spirit, unlocking the net of the Matrix, creating little Swiss cheese holes all over in the Matrix. And then I just saw COVID and I saw them suppressing travel. And the same thing they did during 9/11 we were talking about earlier. It wasn't that they wanted to bring certain things down or they were trying to distract. And people were thinking, oh, they're trying to distract because of this however many $1 trillion, like the day before, that went missing out of the government funding. Just disappeared, went missing. Still to this day, they don't know where it went. That was September 10th. Then September, that date happened. And so that was a distraction, but there was also something they were doing. So they were still flying and doing things, but they grounded the rest of at least the US. I think even internationally, and international flights weren't allowed to come anywhere near the US during that time. That was not because they were afraid of a couple, 5 to however many of the people that, the energy hijackers, with their box knives looking to cause any chaos in the sky. No, it was because they needed all eyes away from certain areas. And it's not just Bermuda Triangle. I'm seeing 7. And then I just heard 7 wonders of the earth. But then I heard the 8th wonder of the earth. Oh God, I want to Google things so hard right now. What is this? What is this? I'm just gonna see 7 wonders of the earth. And I said I was gonna make this quick. Who am I kidding? I'm too invested now. Okay. The 7 official wonders of the world. The Colosseum in Italy, Petra in Jordan. To me, it looks like Chichen Itza in Mexico, Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, Machu Picchu in Peru, Taj Mahal in India, and the Great Wall of China. In China, obviously. So now I'm being told, look up the 8th wonder. The 8th wonder of the world. What is the 8th wonder of the world? Okay, so it's Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat? I think I've heard of that before. In Cambodia, considered the 8th wonder of the world, beating Italy's Pompeii. The title of the 8th wonder of the world is given to outstanding buildings or projects, and Angkor Wat has gained this recognition. Okay, so the reason these are called wonders of the world is because they have major energies going on, and of course there are other points that they want to kind of remain. And I'm seeing like rugged terrain. I'm seeing somewhere in the Amazon rainforest that they are not letting anyone into, and there were actually 2 tribes kind of in this territory that years ago, and we're talking years and years ago, they've just swept everyone out of there somehow, probably conquered them and annihilated them in the way that they do. There's so much more to our history, obviously, than we know, but there's so much going on here. Like, we've literally just scratched yet another surface of an iceberg in our cosmic questions today. Those missing people did not die. That's what you're wondering. They are in a higher dimensional frequency. But they're also showing me some people did maybe pass away because they're showing me something to do with magnetics. And again, going back to the heart center of the human magnetic heart field, right? I keep seeing that toroidal field of the heart. That, when certain magnetics are at play, things can go, like mechanics, engines and carburetors and, all mechanical things can go haywire when the magnetics go off. Or you're not supposed to put magnets near, like, is it a hard drive? I think it's a hard drive, or you'll like wipe your hard drive. Something to do with magnetics. So if you are taking, say, a little seaplane or something over the Bermuda Triangle at certain times, it only works during certain times, so it's not always active, is what I'm seeing. But you take a tiny seaplane or something over at the right time, you're in the right place at the right time, and the magnetics go haywire, and then the plane will crash and just be in the ocean. What I see. Oh, guys, you guys have comments. I'm gonna catch up. Oh, they changed the 7 wonders there. See, I had no idea. I'm gonna catch up on comments. Okay, I'm going back up. Yes, a 10. The Matrix controllers. That's what I said. Transported to a different place. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You were talking about Lionsgate portal connecting with the Great Central Sun. Yeah, happening in October and not August. Yes. And they've really put this hype around 8/8, meaning August 8th. And I think there's probably nefarious reasons for that, obviously. But it feels to me like the true 8/8 alignment where some of these points are active. But it's not every year. It's just, it feels like a cycle. But it was happening actually this past October. We had one of those cycles where it all lined up. And this is not by Matrix standards. This is like original blueprint. And that helps start. I mean, it had already been starting in places. But I'm seeing the Swiss, I keep hearing Swiss cheese effect. pop up where these energy hijack points or Earth's original chakras or energy points were hijacked by Matrix Net, Matrix controllers, Matrix whatever, are now being dismantled. Okay, let's catch up. Reason developed the Swiss cheese model to illustrate how analysis of major accidents and catastrophic system failures tend to reveal multiple smaller failures leading up to the actual hazard. Oh, interesting. In the model, each slice of cheese represents a safety barrier or precaution relevant to a particular hazard. And what I'm seeing with this is like the Matrix. This is the Swiss cheese model is the Matrix in this. Major accident. This is happening to the Matrix right now. Thank you for posting that, Amber. That's amazing. Yeah, I heard there was a portal on Elf. Oh, the buildings and something happened there. Yeah, they changed the 7 wonders of the world. Hi, Peekly! We're in it. We're in like full-on detective investigation mode. That was a magnifying glass for those of you that wonder what the heck is she doing. It's a magnifying glass. We're in detective mode. Oh, Swiss cheese. I heard this week about the first time, but I can't remember where. There's invisible Swiss cheese like layers that protect the earth, I think. I wish I could remember specifics. Oh my gosh. That feels very relevant. If you can remember, let us know. Oh my gosh, that sounds like something we need to know about. It sounds very pertinent, but I have not heard anything about that. I just kept hearing it in my mind just now, like during this reading. Probably they could not make it through the portal due to density of the body. Yeah, it most likely was. But those that had the awareness, again, they had their I am awareness on point, could just, instead of crashing or whatever when things failed, they could just interdimensionally enter. And when you're in that 5th dimension, you do have access to your own light body. So it's not like you're going to crash, allegedly speaking. I don't know the 5D. I don't know that I've ever been there. I don't know, but I'm just based on what we know of the 50 or think we know, right? It was a cosmologist talking about where God is in science. I hope I'm saying this right. Oh, okay. Very cool. When you mentioned Wonders of the World and that September day, there was a restaurant at the top of one of the towers called Window on the World. Oh, interesting. The Swiss cheese are layers, so there is no straight shot. Wow. And that's what this reminds me of is it's like this rocket like shooting through. So something they were trying to do, were also going through maybe the Earth's protective, personal, like the Earth's original protective layers or something. But it feels like instead of going down, they're trying to go up. Like, and this is what I was seeing in my awareness was like, you can't break it. Like whatever's encasing this reality, this realm, you can't get through it. And rockets will hit it and just, you can look up, I think it's 60 miles into the air, the atmosphere. These amateur rockets are hitting something up there and just stopping mid rocket, right? They're stopped. And I think one made it maybe 72 miles. But if you think, maybe not so much this, but if it's more, think of a rainbow. Rainbows you see like in your sprinkler's kind of more like a line, or sometimes they are the curved sprinklers, depending on what kind of sprinkler. But the rainbow that you get will mold to the water, or if it's a mirror you're using, whatever, mirrors are usually flat, so you'll get kind of like a flat slice of a rainbow when light hits a mirror. To make like a prism, or whatever the shape the prism is, the rainbow will take that shape. Well, why are our rainbows curved? If we're just a ball spinning in, it should just look like just maybe flat or something, or not be able to have a rainbow at all because there's nothing for it to reflect off of. What's it reflecting off of? Glass of some kind, some sort of natural glass. I don't know, a firmament. The lots of scriptures talk about, again, not saying the Bible's fact, not at all, but lots of holy books and Bibles and maps that were drawn, and even a lot of tribes all over the world were depicting the earth with some sort of, they were showing it almost like a turtle, and then the shell of the turtle as like a firmament or a dome placed over. It was up until about the 15 to 1600s, then they stopped showing maps like that. So something shifted during that time. But an interview with a cosmologist on Diary of a CEO. Ooh, I actually like his channel. And I have watched a lot of the different ones. I don't think I've seen or heard of that one yet. But yeah, I am I'm going to look for that because that sounds very something I need to know. I love learning stuff like this. Maybe during that particular time, all the layers of Swiss cheese aligned in a way for a perfect exit point. Yeah, let's just tune in. Anything else? We're going to go to White Newman now. Just anything else that we're maybe missing, because we've gone on a bit off tangent with we were just wanting to know about Bermuda Triangle. Now we're talking about 8 different wonders of the world. And it was a dream, something regarding light and not the other. Sorry. Oh, okay. Let's see. Anything else we need to know specifically about the energy of the Bermuda Triangle and anything that happened to those that were missing in that area? 3 of Wands. So it wasn't an ending for a lot of them. It was just literally a travel to a different land. Travel to a different land. And it's funny because out where the Bermuda Triangle is, I know Bermuda's around the way somewhere. Again, geography is not my strong suit. Never claimed it to be. But I know the island of Bermuda, I think it's an island, pretty sure. I do remember that much. It's somewhere out in the ocean out there. But it's not like just a solid landmass. And what I'm seeing is in a different dimension, the Bermuda Triangle is actually land. There's no ocean there. Make that make sense. But we're just seeing straight out ocean when in the 3D reality, when, not that I've ever been anywhere near the Bermuda Triangle. The farthest south I've ever been in this incarnation is Denver, Colorado, let's be honest. So I have not gotten out much. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's like I'm seeing the snake here, and normally I interpret that as like healing, but I'm seeing it as the Ouroboros. You know how the Ouroboros creates the circle and then it bites its own tail. It's like somehow the Ouroboros has been undone. So whatever matrix net was put in place, the Ouroboros has been undone. It's back to its original. It's no longer biting its tail. It's moved on from that. So there is a version of dimensional reality around the Bermuda Triangle, and that's why they've hyped it up to be this big scary thing. Yeah, maybe things can at certain times go wrong, but at other times they can go so right. I want to do, just for my own curiosity, do more research on the Bermuda Triangle just to see what I don't think it's as like locked down as maybe say Antarctica. That was another thing as I was saying Amazon rainforest. I also saw that little like peninsula looking part of Antarctica that's kind of reaching up toward whatever way it is for you guys, that's reaching up towards South America. And I know a lot of, I don't know if it's called Operation High Jump or what, but I know after the thing that happened in the 40s in Germany with the N ending in I party, a lot of them moved down to Argentina and Antarctica itself and the US as well. And they moved to these areas because, well, if you want to watch my hypnosis with Alba Weinman, I tuned in that it was, and I don't think I even said this in the hypnosis at all. I might have said it in the comment section if you want to go watch it. It's Alba. If you go to Alba Weinman, WEINMAN, I'm session 151. So Alba Weinman session, or Alba Weinman 151. You should be able to find my hypnosis if you want to watch it. I know some of you may have already done that. I've talked about it before. It's been a long time since I've talked about it, but the dark star and these people that come to mine the resources on the planet, it's a planet that's around Sirius B. It's not Sirius B itself because that is a sun. I wasn't living on a sun. But the N party with ending in I from Germany from the 40s, at that same time, we're having people come through some sort of portal. It wasn't like they were traveling through space. It was a portal that took them to Sirius B planet that I was on. And they were doing some nefarious things off planet, so to speak. But really, is it off planet? How do we know? But I put a lot of these dots together. There was so much coming through when you get a hypnosis like that. There was so much coming through, and I'm really only answering Alba Weinman's questions during this. Or maybe sometimes I'll give a little hint of what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing like almost like hours of footage playing out between each question. Like there's so much coming at you. Like I was, oh my gosh, what, you can kind of read the comments of that video. I was going through it. I had huge migraine. I vomited. I was like grounding on the grass. I was sitting in dog pee outside of this like burrito restaurant because the guy's like, dogs pee there all the time. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm grounding. I'm gonna throw up. Like it was intense, you guys. I'd never felt anything that intense since my original Kundalini awakening. I don't know that I'd actually do that again because I feel I can still get these same answers without going those extremes. That was hard. Very insightful, but yeah, there's a lot going on that we just have no idea about. But I want to get any closing statements on Bermuda Triangle and what happened. I just don't want to give this up. It's so fun. Okay. I'm seeing this as a win for the original spirits out there. They're Swiss cheese. It's literally creating Swiss cheese. And it's in the heart center. Look at that. It's the tower. But it's a very Three of Swords energy with the 3 arrows. Their matrix is crumbling. Let's get some further guidance on, especially around, I heard frequency net around, because we're specifically tuning into Bermuda Triangle and what's happening there. The frequency net is failing. Now we have the Two of Pentacles. It's dueling. Duality is dueling with the original creation. And maybe one day you're getting this version, one day you're getting this version. Again, the timing of it. Anything else? They're literally trying to hang on to what they have. So it's like they are, and I've seen this before. And so when Spirit shows me this, I just laugh. It's Chevy Chase in the movie Vegas Vacation when he puts his gum to stop the leak when he's at the Hoover Dam, and then a bigger leak starts and he's like plugging all these leaks and like it's out of control. And again, kind of with Swiss cheese, punching holes in it. That other reality, the original reality, is leaking through. And again, I'm getting not just at the Bermuda Triangle, but all over. Our own God Spark awareness can tune into this original creation right now. We don't have to be living in this 3D matrix anymore. And we're kind of like the last to get the memo is what I'm hearing. Anything else? I can't give it up. 8 of Pentacles. Keep chipping away. And removing the masks. I'm seeing this mask over this. And I know a lot of shamans and stuff will wear masks, but not in a nefarious way. This is like taking off the human mask and stepping back into your I am awareness. Wow. I will have to revisit this. Yes, in the middle of water. It feels connected to the original blueprint of Earth before the matrix was put in. Just the pyramids in the background brought that thought up. Oh, yes. You're right. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I just heard Libyan desert glass as well. It's a very desert glass, very prism, pyramid, and deserty stuff. I meant to say pyramid and desert, but I said prism. Wow, I've done a past life and it's very exhausting. Yeah, I've done a few on my own that weren't nearly as exhausting, but just as informative for me personally. Just like that past life in Butte that I tuned into as that minor and stuff, which is weird. And then Raylene had this big thing in Butte with her where she got her core wound session out of all her work in Butte. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how so much just overlaps with people who are, searching for answers, and you're overlapping in other people's answers. It's really cool. It's really cool. Let's just see anything else we need to know on our end about this Swiss. I keep hearing Swiss cheese effect. Anything else we need to know on our end as God, I am, spirit awareness in these human bodies? Explore feelings and look at all the activity around the crown. And there's a literal crown. Delve into insecurities and unresolved emotions, authentic closure and peace. It's like casting, I just heard Casting Crowns, which I think is a Christian rock band. Is that, am I saying that right? Casting Crowns? I think it's a Christian rock band. I couldn't name you one song they sing, but that's what I'm seeing in my awareness. You don't have to sit and heal and peel. You can just literally cast that crown off, or that. It's weird because I'm seeing the crown more like a seal over your crown chakra. You can cast it off. Oh, and that's something I told Amber, that 2 weeks ago, I removed that like metal energetic migraine helmet of pain that I would have. And I would remove it during a migraine bout, or I just tune into my own energy, feel that it was there, remove it. A couple hours later, tune into my energy, feel it was back, remove it, like over, and I just regenerate. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I said, enough is effing enough. I'm done with this. And I picked it up and I said, never again. And I threw it into that sacred like trash can of fire that I utilize for a lot of my healing stuff. And I've not had a migraine since. And I'm not allowing it back into my reality. This is what this feels like. Your crown chakra being locked down and you only being able to identify with your feelings. Yes, it's great to explore them, but don't believe that you are them either. Yeah, the lady has layers too. Yes. And how interesting that kind of toward the middle top of that is red, which is root chakra energy. Trying to keep us stuck even when we think we are reaching those higher chakras in our root chakra survival mode. How beautiful of them to try to do that to us. Well, no more, because we've said no. Hey, she doesn't go to this school. I put this card in the wrong deck, but let's see. It's here for casting crowns. I love this. And we were talking about the snake, the Ouroboros. He's not an Ouroboros. He's just a snake now. He's back to his original. He's no longer in the delusion of let me eat my own tail because I'm so delusional. I'm trapped. No, he's back in action, baby. Shedding, reducing losses, elimination, and completing a new metamorphosis. Time to set higher goals. What are we always talking about over here? We're leveling. We're casting crowns. We're anything that is less than my I am presence, my true, original, organic, creator, source, spark, has no business in my reality anymore. And hey, maybe it will take time. Maybe that's just a stipulation that my human self is putting on it. But it's happening. It's happening for all of us if we choose that, because we are God. We can choose our reality. So I want to look up Swiss cheese effect because I'm just hearing it like a loop. Same with when I wake up, I'm like, reality is not what you think. Not what you think. Not what you think. Like I hear it. Or when I first am kind of falling asleep, it kind of wakes me up. Like I hear it inside my head. It's not like I hear it outside. It's like almost like a thought, but almost it has some substance to it. But it's not coming from the head. It's coming from the heart and coming up into my ears. Like kind of, but on the inside. The way I interpret it, it's so hard to explain. I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm like, what is she talking about? It's coming from her heart, but yet she's pointing at her head. What the heck? I'm just cool like that, I guess. Okay, so Swiss cheese effect. It's a thing. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's a thing. Is that what Amber put? Okay, that is what you put. Okay, so now I'm getting it. It's the safety model that illustrates the errors. Okay, so that is a thing. I have never, at least that I know of, heard of that, but it's a thing. Okay. Wow. Each slice of cheese represents a safety barrier precaution. It kind of almost reminds me also of the double slit experiment. The observer, the awareness, changing the experiment. We are the awareness. We are the observer. I'm going to type in double slit experiment explained, and I will read it out for you, just a small. Explain simply, because we're going to go here soon. But so the double slit experiments demonstrates that the wave-like nature of light, by shining a beam of light through two narrow slits, causing the light to create an interference pattern on a screen behind it with alternating bright and dark bands, which can only be explained by light behaving as a wave, where the waves from each slit overlap and either reinforce or cancel each other out. Even when sending light particles at one time, the interference pattern still appears, highlighting the strange quantum phenomenon of wave-particle duality. I know that was a lot to probably try to wrap your head around, but there was something about the observer. I want to Google about the observer. Observational study. Yeah, something about a study. Let me see. Double slit observation study explained. Maybe we can get more, because the observer could actually shift or change the outcome of how things interact. I'm sure you guys have heard of this before, but yeah. Yeah, the double slit experiment, a 19th century investigation into the properties of light that has since been found to demonstrate the wave-particle duality of photons, electrons, and other particles types, as well as demonstrate other quantum properties such as superposition and interference. What does observation mean in the double experiment? Observation just means the measurement. The fact that it's being observed, the outcome can be changed. The outcome can be shifted. Whether it goes through this side, no sides, both sides at the same time, like, you are that awareness. You are that observer. So if the reality that's being projected on the screen isn't to your liking, you can shift, well, what about this? And then you'll start to see that projected on your screen. Again, our human aspect of like, well, I don't see it. It didn't arrive. Because everything happens in those spiritual realms, trickles down into the physical reality eventually. But your reality has no choice but to shift. When you are putting that awareness, you're paying attention, you are spending your time focused on the reality you do want, not the reality you don't want. And that's something we've all heard since we woke up. Focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. And yeah, we will go through times where we do that. We do that. And then other times when we're just so lost in the sauce of just mundane reality that we forget we're so powerful and we are creators. So remember, you're a creator. You're creating your own reality. And if you don't like something, I won't even say you just have the power, but you, I think, also have the responsibility. If you do want your reality to shift, it's totally up to you. You can do it. You have the power and the responsibility to be able to do that if that's what you choose to do. Awesome. Well, I like how we ended this. This is fun. And we went like 40 plus minutes, I think, on that cosmic question. So I feel good about that. I do need to get it timestamped so other people can enjoy the crazy, mind-blowing stuff that we tuned into just from one amazing question submitted by Brandy Lynn. Thank you so much for the submission. This was perfect. Perfect. I love it. And yeah, I do want to keep on trend of having our cosmic questions at least once a week. I don't want to keep putting them off because I don't have time or whatever. I want to keep them coming because they're just, I mean, it's so fun. It's so fun to just tune into this together and just see what comes up. I love this. We may not have all the answers, but oh my gosh, we at least scratched some of the surface to where now I think I have more questions than anything, but I like that. I don't mind that at all. Oh, you have a new cosmic question for next time. I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, we'll take some cosmic questions. I want to say maybe next Wednesday, because next Friday, yes, we will be live, but my mom will be here around the time, well before right now. So I might start the live stream at like 10 a.m. instead of, for Mountain Time, instead of 11 a.m. So it'll be about an hour earlier on Friday. So yes, this is a weird week. We have a different time schedule for Wednesday's live stream and a different schedule for Friday as well. Just because my mom's going to be here for Wrigley's birthday. Yes, we are all caught up on donations, so I'm not leaving anyone hanging here. So I am going to go have a very quick lunch and shuffle off to the school. I got to pick Wrigley up, and we have a basketball game tonight. And I have one more quick jaunt up the way. I got to let my friend's cats just make sure they have enough food and water and clear out their litter box and stuff because she's on vacation. So I'm cat sitting for 3 kitty cats. Okay. So I'm going to go do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time instead of 11 a.m. So just mind the gap, mind the difference, the time difference there. That way we can still hang out and stuff and not miss the live stream rather than just try to cut it super short by doing it at the regular time. So much love. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portals Tarot Live on Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Different time. Interview was on Red Light. Was with Dr. Roger, however you say that, if not the other. Okay, I will look into that. I want to know. I want to know what's going on with this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that doesn't sound like one I've seen of his. I did see, like, that's the first place I found out about Dr. Mindy Pels. the intermittent fasting lady that like shifted my life, changed my life for the better. Just by learning how to intermittent fast properly with my hormones rather than trying to do it the way I used to do it, which is like a guy. Try to fast like a guy doesn't work. But the Diary of a CEO interview was actually where I found Dr. Mindy. So I found some amazing insight on that channel. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out. It was on Red Light, Dr. Roger so and so. I could probably try to sound that out, but I would probably embarrass myself. All right, you guys, I already said my closing statement. So I'm going to go. This was fun. Cosmic question. I'm going to timestamp that right after we close out. So I will see you Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Be there. Hope to see you there. All right. Much love, peace, and have a wonderful rest of your week till I see you again. Yay. Yes, I love that channel and Dr. Mindy. Yeah, two fan favorites of mine for sure. I'm a fan of both. All right. Much love, peace, and I'll see you next time. Bye.